Welcome YouTube, and welcome to the Cable Trash Cast. I'm your host, OccultTooner, and introduce yourself, guess.
Okay. My name is Alex, or Alex the Menace, or Alex1 for this specific call. And yeah, I'm here.
Um, I am also Alex. For the sake of making things easy, I'll go by Alex2. Because I too am Alex, and I go by Alex Likes Toons. I'm on Facebook. Not, I'm not on Facebook. Uh, I am on
MySpace.
YouTube.
Twitter.
I am on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Do some VTubing stuff like streaming. Hopefully, at some point I'd like to get back to making videos about theme parks and whatnot. And I'm also on GeoCities and MySpace and Google Plus
and
and
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans. Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Oh.
All right.
Follow and donate $30 for
I'm
feed
Hollow
pics.
Slayer. I'm not an Alex. I'm the creator of various comics. Actually, just one at this point. The others are in a fire somewhere. And yeah, I'm on all those places too. But you can also find me on LAM, or what was it? Ethernet. You can find me on America Online. And what was it? Never mind.
And
This is
Newgrounds.
awkward. Newgrounds, yes. Newgrounds. I'm trying to think of an equally obsolete thing, and I can't.
AOL.
You can find me on the Xanadu Hypertext Project.
You can find me on Worlds Online.
Yes.
You can find my Worlds Online account. I am Pussy Destroy 69. I was very fortunate to get that name.
Well, that's unlucky. Our Trish would fucking went inside the Hanzo's head.
All right.
Anyways.
Okay. Your turn, pal.
Yes. Hi, I'm Iguana, and I do art. I do like lots of vector art. I study graphic design, and I'm obsessed with goth boys and Lilo and Stitch and stop motion. And you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, I guess Discord. My handle is Iguana at the Aquatic Bunny. I post every once in a while. Yeah.
All right.
You guys gave yourselves like full-blown introductions, and I just said, "Hi, this is my name." And you guys are like, "Okay, this is my business." Okay, I was born in Chicago. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Cool. And for today's cast, we're gonna talk about stop motion, but in general.
Woo! Yes.
So
Zoo,
fun
what's
fact.
going on?
Fun fact, the phrase stop motion is derived from the Latin stomominus, meaning which literally translates to stop moving, which is a bit ironic.
Interesting.
That's not true.
All right, Redditors.
It's online. Everything's true.
Yes.
That is true.
I'm now the President of the United States. It's online, so it's true.
I'm now the
Yes.
president of cringe.
All right. So just to jump into our first topic, we're gonna talk about stop motion movies, like our favorite and least favorites. I'm just gonna go into a small tangent because I wrote in my notes a couple of subsections. I wrote in my childhood favorites, James and the Giant Peach and Nightmare Before Christmas. I know those are kind of like normie picks, but I remember as a kid.
Ew. Normie.
Normie.
They're normie stuff because they were successful and everyone liked them.
But I remember
Well, I would consider.
I remember watching James and the Giant Peach a shit ton.
Oh my god.
When I was younger, just because I had the VHS of it, and I still think I have it. I gotta check it out.
I have it too.
Yeah.
If we're gonna talk about childhood favorites, I want to mention. I know it's not full stop motion, but Clash of the Titans is one for me.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
I remember finding
That's what I have.
finding a VHS tape of it sealed in Goodwill one day and just taking it
Ew.
home, ripping it
Oh my
open,
God. Oh no!
and watching one of my favorite childhood movies. It was like that. You got Baron von Munchausen, lots of good stuff.
Great. We gotta watch it.
Ooh.
We gotta watch it on a stream one day.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
So
Yeah,
we're just talking
It
about.
act-
Go ahead, Alex the Menace. You were gonna say something?
We're just talking about our childhood favorites, like movies, or what specifically?
It's movies, but I kind of divide it into a subsection of childhood favorites.
Oh, I
Shot my
gotcha.
back, dude. Why do
Okay.
I create so
Cause-
For
good?
movies.
Because I have other favorite movies, but I'm just mentioning my childhood favorites.
Why do you gotta rip
Okay.
like the wrong way?
Okay. Unless Hollows is done, or
I just wanted to mention that movie made me want to get the merchandise from the 80s so badly, but that stuff is ridiculously rare and expensive
Yeah.
and easy to break because they were cheaply made,
True.
True.
which
very
sucked. I mean, I've held the Death figure from the line, and it's literally hollow kids meal plastic.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess when people, it's just when people are handling it gently enough anyway, just for filming, they don't have to bother to make it sturdy.
Oh no, it wasn't a stop. This was a toy for the toy line from the.
Oh my
back then.
God.
Yeah, the toy line was blatantly a cheap knockoff of the Star Wars toy line.
Cool.
I mean,
Nice.
it was same articulation, same scale, but the figures were all hollow. The only really good piece, really quality piece of that collection, was the Kraken figure, which was huge, at least for the time.
Right.
And even then, it was pretty cheap. It's not cheap now. It's
Oh
very
yeah,
expensive.
anything.
It's very expensive, Douglas.
All right. But to go back in topic, if I had to pick a favorite stop motion movies, it would at least in my notes I have Wallace and Gromit, Cursor War Rabbit. I really love that movie. I've seen it so many times.
I just watched it again.
Well,
Go ahead. All right, I'll just continue. I got Chicken Run as well, another one of my favorites, and I remember watching it as a kid so many times, and one that I haven't seen that many times, but I would consider it a classic.
I hate hogs
is
so fucking much, bro. What's it?
Anomalisa.
Anomalisa, yeah.
ooh, yeah.
That's a good
Forgot about
movie.
that.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah, actually,
I've heard
Well,
only
you guys were
good things
talking-
about it.
Pill, you're okay. I was gonna say maybe mute when your brother's talking. Yeah, I was gonna say I just got done with my notes when you guys were talking. And it's yeah, it's one of the ones I wrote down.
Such a great movie. Makes me depressed sometimes. Just
It's
Yeah.
supposed to.
thinking about it.
I still need to see that one.
Same.
Wouldn't be
Same.
Charlie Kaufman film without making you feel a little sad. If you've ever seen some of his other movies that he directed or wrote, but that's his only animated thing that he's ever done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it lost to a Disney movie, I'm assuming, at the Oscars.
It was 2015, so it lost to Inside Out,
Yep. It seems about
Yeah.
which
right.
is understandable because that is a good movie. But
Seems
It is a good
about-
movie,
Yeah.
but yeah, Inside Out ain't one of my favorites.
There are years when Pixar earns the Oscar they get, and times when they don't earn the Oscar they get.
True, but that's a topic for another day.
Yeah. On the topic of
Tune in
Aardman
next
and-
time for our Oscars episode.
Our Oscars.
Like,
How we
Oh yeah. On the topic of Wallace and Gromit though, and just Aardman in general, there's stuff has this really charming energy to it that just makes you want to smile.
Yeah.
It's really just lighthearted fun. One bit that
hate hog, dude.
one thing that I like.
I would qualify Wallace and Gromit and most Aardman stuff as contemporary fairy tales, modern day fairy tales.
Oh, that's
I could
interesting.
see that to an extent.
I can see it.
I could totally see Wallace and Gromit meeting Little Red Riding Hood.
Yeah, it has like it's very in a way that's like it's very the characters are really simplistic with how they bounce off of each other and like the antics they get up to.
They're simplistic but rich. That's the important
Yeah.
thing.
You can put them in any situation and it'll be entertaining.
I mean, like so far they've gone to the moon. They've dealt with a jewel thief who used mechanical trousers.
Penguin.
They
The
one of
penguin.
them got
Penguin.
turned into
The evil
a mystical-
Best
I
villain
love
ever.
that train chase still blows my mind with like because it
It's
looks like they're
insane.
recording because they have like all the motion blur and stuff in there. It looks like they're
Mhm.
recording footage live, but I still don't know how they did that. The motion blur.
I think I
There were
know how they did
actually
that.
some instances where they actually did use like 3 arms in between shots.
Oh
I
really?
think
At least according to the documentary I saw of Armin,
is
where
it
they
talk-
discuss.
oh,
Yeah, it's on
was-
Netflix.
I do
sweet.
know that like with some of their later stuff like Curse of the Were-Rabbit, and I think it started with not Loaf for Death, it was a Close Shave. It was the episode that of Wallace and Gromit that introduced Shaun the Sheep.
Yeah.
In that episode, it was I think the first time they experimented with like digital compositing and effects. With the train scene, I think I know how they did it. But it's kind of it's ridiculous, honestly.
How did they end up like? Did they like?
My only idea of how they would have done that with the technology at the time and stuff, and from what I understand of when they started using like digital effects, they would have had to have a camera somehow trained on the train, and like whenever they took a shot, move the train so the background looked all. There's a motion blur on the background, but not on the train, and the
Yeah.
camera would track the train.
Oh, very.
It is.
It's
I
like
know a lot of other like I've heard that technique being used before. I know that for a fact, so I wouldn't surprise me if they did it. Yeah.
it's like so because it still looks like really fluid. Like you don't even see like an outline of a mat of any kind. It's very
Yeah.
clean.
Very.
All right, to continue on.
Mhm.
We'll go in order. Like Alex and Menace. What would be your favorite movie, stop motion movie?
Okay, because I was like, I haven't gotten to talk about it. Well, at least for childhood stuff, because I didn't get to say that either. Like you said, like James and the Giant Peach, and also like Nightmare Before Christmas. For movies, I'm trying to think, just movies. Yeah, probably just like stuff like that mainly. Because I didn't watch a ton. Because stop motion was kind of creepy to me as a kid, in ways. But for current favorites, it'd probably just be like the Leica films. Like Coraline and Paranorman are like some of my favorite movies ever.
Gorgeous movie.
I debate between which two I like, because most people would say Coraline, but I really like Paranorman. There's just something about like it's kind of its homage to kind of 50s B horror movies, and like it's kind of its tone and its mood, and I like Norman as a character. I don't know. Those are probably some of my favorites. Also like The Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah, I think those are like probably my 3 favorites, but also like honorable mention to like My Life is a Zucchini. I don't know if you guys have heard of that
Oh,
movie.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I heard
I
of
love
that
that
one. I haven't
one.
seen
I've
it
seen
though.
that one.
I have
You have
not
to see
heard of
that.
what life is. What?
My
My
Life
Life
is a
is
Zucchini.
it was an Oscar
It's a
nominated
French film.
It's a French animated. It's a French animated stop motion film. It's on. I think it's still on Netflix. It came out like in
I think so, let me
2017,
see.
Hold
2016.
on. I need to look this up.
It's
It's
like it's a
great.
French, but at least to describe it to people who haven't heard it and heard of it while Hollows looks it up.
Oh, I don't
It's
think
like
it's on Netflix anymore.
oh well, it was. It's a stop motion animated film from France, and it's basically kind of about like a boy who gets taken into an
it's that
orphanage.
one.
Gets taken into an orphanage, and it's kind of basically it's a very tender film. I'd say it's kind of quiet and meditative, and kind of like you follow these kids in like an orphanage, and like these people trying to. There's like this nice like cop dude who's like kind of trying to look out for him, and like
Right.
it's like a like it's. I think it's a pretty. It's a very good movie. I really like it a lot. It's
Nice.
It's an excellent
underrated. It doesn't get talked about enough.
It needs more praise.
And, yeah.
I think it's because people don't like slice of life that much, so no one really talks about it.
Oh, I know, but it's like very, it's really good. You get a feel for all these like characters and like their bonds. They grow together in that orphanage, and
It's real, man.
Originally, one of my favorite stop motion movies was probably Chicken Run. That was sort of the first one that I saw when I was younger, and there was. And I did grow to appreciate it more as time went on, just like recognizing some of the darker themes at play, and just appreciation for the medium as a whole, and like the amount of effort it took to make it possible. As time went on, my favorite sort of became Fantastic Mr. Fox, just because of how
that's a good one.
how radically different its style is from other stop motion movies. Because one thing that I both love and think is a little bit of a bummer with the Leica movies is, like, it's insanely impressive when you see something in like Paranorman, the way characters move around and stuff. It almost looks CG. Like the photography is so, like, with how like spot on they get the animation and the stop motion. It looks like it's CG almost with the way that they move. But I kind of like when stop motion has like that little bit of jitter to it, so you can sort of get that feeling that it was touched by human hands.
The jank
Yeah.
adds.
I get it.
Like with Fantastic Mr. Fox, and how I remember I forget the director's name. I can't believe I'm forgetting the director. Wes Anderson. He specifically wanted puppets with fur because he liked the effect that the animator's fingers moving the fur had.
It's kind of like the jittery. It's kind of like the jittery outlines in Ed, Ed and Eddie.
Oh yeah, exactly.
It has a very similar vibe to it, and I love that kind of jitteriness too.
You can tell whenever like Wes Anderson does a stop motion movie, he's in his element, because this is like a director who loves symmetry and loves everything to be exact. And when you have sort of a small scale set and environment, you can really crank that up to 11.
His work is just so satisfying to watch.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. It really
like, even
pleases my OCD.
Yeah, even like watching his live action stuff, you can tell like he's a director who was like meant to do stop motion.
He puts it in a lot of his films. If you watch like Moonrise Kingdom, there's like a little stop motion segment, like mini little part, and like I always forget the name of this movie, the Aquatic Life of Dr. Steve Zissou. Like that has like a stop motion segment. Yeah, I always forget the name of it. It's confusing, but yeah.
It's a very confusing name.
And he always, I don't know, yeah, he's incredibly specific, so animation would be like the perfect medium for someone who's that specific for their movements and everything.
Yeah, even something just as like simple as like using miniatures for backgrounds and stuff. It's like things that he like takes full advantage of in stop motion, he also uses to enhance some of his live action stuff.
Yeah.
Like I still like the design of like the Grand Budapest Hotel is still like burned into my head just because of how like distinct it looks.
Definitely.
Hey,
so
yeah.
My turn. So for me, out of the movies that I was able to watch before this, my favorite was probably The Adventures of Mark Twain by Will Vinton.
Yeah.
I think it... What?
I haven't seen that one. Continue on.
I haven't seen it because I've only seen the clip everyone knows, the devil thing, which is a very cool clip. It makes me want to watch it, but
I highly recommend to watch it. If you like stuff like the Baron von Munchausen or Neverending Story or even Labyrinth, that kind of '80s fantasy vibe, this has it in spades. Mark Twain.
with
On top,
that tinge of existential dread in there.
oh yeah, oh yeah. On top of that, it also, I think, is also it actually ties into existentialness of it. It's wonderfully meta. It's wonderfully meta.
Yeah, because it's Mark Twain meeting all of his characters, right?
Well, it's Mark
Or
Twain, and basically the story is Huckleberry Finn and I forget the other one's name. The two boy characters from his work hear that the girl character is going
Huckleberry
to this
Finn and
big.
Tom Sawyer.
Yeah, Huckleberry
yeah.
and Tom Sawyer hear that the girl character, the annoying one, she is going to this big thing that this fancy man named Mark Twain is putting on to launch his balloon into space.
Right,
And
because
he's
of Halley's
trying to.
Comet.
Yep, he's trying to get to Halley's Comet. And throughout the movie, it's basically him telling his stories to the kids or showing them. And honestly, in the movie, Mark Twain reminds me a lot of a cross between Dream from Sandman and like Doctor Who.
Yeah, he does kind of have that vibe to him where it's just like this sort of all-knowing.
Very. And at the end of the movie, you have Mark Twain. It's like there's this mysterious figure throughout the film, like fucking up with everybody, like messing around, causing accidents, and
Sort
it's
of a
revealed at the end
trickster
of the
god.
movie. And yeah, it's revealed at the end of the movie that the other entity was actually another Mark Twain, and there are two, one representing the good half, one representing the bad half.
Right.
And at the end of the movie, a beautiful scene where Mark Twain, gives some final words to the kids, and then like Jedi Knight evaporates into spirit dust into the whatchamacallit, into Halley's Comet.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah, they even
And-
like timed the film. The film was like done, I think, 2 years before it released, but they waited until a few years later because that was when Halley's Comet was going to be flying past Earth. So that's
Yeah.
when they decided to release it.
And the film was, I think, 100% or like at least 99% done with clay. I think the only not clay things are the eyes of the puppets.
Oh yeah,
And
because they
even
did all the
then-
backgrounds and sets in clay too.
Yeah, they did all the backgrounds, the wind, Halley's Comet itself, everything clay.
It's really cool.
It is a beautiful movie, wonderful animation, highly recommended. But if we're including stop motion movies as in like movies that have stop motion as a major part of it, I would also have to shout out King Kong.
Ooh.
Well, we're
yeah.
talking. Well, I mean, we're talking just full blown stop motion first, right? Or
Yes.
Right,
The-
but I think like stop motion as like special effects is at least worth a mention, just because.
yeah,
of,
I want to talk about that
Especially
a bit.
when it-
We're gonna get
especially
to it
when-
later.
Yeah, that's a different topic. We can talk about it later.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
And there's a lot to discuss.
Yeah.
But one that I wanted to mention that I love and I loved as a kid, but it's very fucking weird and I'm probably gonna talk about it again later, so I'll save it. But I'll say the name: Super Smash Bros. Gmod 2.
Hmm.
It is. I'll explain it later, but it's one of the freaking most fan servicey fan movies I've ever watched,
Shit.
and I love it. It's wonderful.
That's great to
But
know.
yeah, because I guess Gmod animation is in a sense stop motion.
Well,
In a
yeah,
way.
you can't. Well, it depends on the Gmod animation.
Oh shit.
Some of
Right.
it's more akin to puppetry, while others is like you take a screenshot, move a ragdoll a little, take a
Yeah.
screenshot, move a rag. It's literally stop motion just in a digital plane.
Yeah. It's like and it still has like that kind of like jank to it too.
Oh, it's wonderfully jank. And this is an entire movie on the premise of like Super Smash Brothers, but literally everyone is here. Not just the everyone is here Smash Brothers Ultimate, but the ultra fan, everyone is here
Right.
from video game history. I mean,
The ultimate showdown.
Spyro the
Booger
Dragon,
Man.
Master Chief, Jeffrey Epstein.
the guy from Bully, the freaking The Sims are like showing up.
Principal
It's-
Prickly from Recess.
What a prick.
You had to send a
I
link.
just noticed I just realized what his name is when you said it. out
Phoenix,
loud.
Phoenix Wright, the guy from Hatred, like fights a me or like a Kinect. You know, the Xbox version of the Mii's. The guy from Hatred fights one of them, and then they like crash. And then the Saints, the Third Street Saints from Saints Row, crash into like Phoenix Wright's attorney thing, and it's just, it is wonderful.
You had to
Who
send
else
you had to
did-
send a
oh,
link
yeah.
on a Discord chat about it.
I will 100. I'll get a link. Now some of the stuff I mentioned only happens with like, because this is a series. It's still going on to this day.
Oh my god.
Damn.
I'm not kidding. Except since stuff is advanced, most of the stop motion stuff has been put to rest, but it's still
Right.
done completely in Gmod, and it's wonderful and just it's so much fun.
It sounds like a lot of fun. Pale, what would you say? Did you ever say what your favorite ones were?
No.
Yeah, it's Pell's turn now.
Yeah, let's Pell talk.
I didn't get to say anything.
No.
Okay.
For childhood favorites, I had several. Like, we're talking like childhood favorite movies, right?
Yeah. movies.
Both. Yeah.
All right. In terms of childhood favorites, I remember Chicken Run, James and Giant Peach, Wallace and Gromit: Curse of the Rare Rabbit were among my favorites as a kid. I was like, oh, this looks great. I was just like, as a kid, I was like very fascinated with like claymation, or I like to call it the Play-Doh animation.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Play-Doh because what I did was like, I like to like make little figures and stuff as a kid. You know, it just has like a nice, cute, wholesome wonder to it. Like, I'm like, oh, these little figures move. But yeah.
Yeah. That was
in
something I
terms of-
remember. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No. I was gonna say, and in terms of my favorite stop motion film, I'm having a really difficult time telling. I want to say probably Corpse Bride.
Ooh.
Corpse Bride.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
No one talks. People do talk about it, but I don't feel like it's not talked about enough. I think it's beautiful, and I think I kind of relate to Emily. I'm just like, oh man. And I love the songs like "Remains of the Day" and "Tears to Shed." It's so beautiful.
Right.
I love
Yeah,
the piano duets with them.
Yeah, Corpse Bride's been one I wanted to rewatch at some point. 'Cause I remember watching it as a kid, and I never watched it again because I became I was uncomfortable watching it for some reason,
Mm.
and I just never returned to it.
I think I saw like twice as a kid, and it was like not my favorite thing because I thought it was too dry or something. But I rewatched it recently, not a couple years ago, this past October, and it's a pretty good movie.
Another movie I want to
Mr.
rewatch is Twice Upon a Time. It is a stop motion movie. It uses a unique form of it that uses like special colored paper.
Ooh,
Ooh.
that's cool.
Yeah, called like
Interesting.
Lumage. It
Hey.
looks like stained glass windows coming to life.
Nice.
Oh, that's sick.
Oh yeah.
That does sound sick. You were gonna say
Yep.
something?
Yeah, I was gonna say on the topic because you just reminded me. What do we define as stop motion? Because I was like thinking, I haven't actually seen this movie in its entirety, but like, there's like the oldest surviving animated film, which is I'm
Oh yeah,
forgetting
Prince
the name.
Ahmed.
Yeah, The Adventures of Prince Ahmed. Yeah, and that's like cutouts and they're moving around. Like, does that
It's a
technically
form of stop motion.
does that count?
Stop motion in itself. It does. It's
And-
a form.
I would say so.
I
Yeah,
would
because,
say
like,
that it
Terry
counts.
Gilliam.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
South Park is still considered stop motion, and that's the same.
Yeah. At least according to the
Oh yeah, that
Wikipedia.
is considered. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
Alright.
mean the early seasons. I mean like the
Yeah.
first
It's
episode,
a-
technically
I
the
would
only
think
one.
Think
episode
stop
and the
motion.
two
They
pilots.
claim because because that's
Yeah.
the most
I love how
common
after the first
in-
episode they just said, "Screw this, we're doing it in a computer."
Yeah,
Yeah.
loses some of its
Understandable.
charm, but
I mean, stop motion is pretty much like anything like you like take pictures of like in frames and like make it move.
oh, I know, but like
Um,
it's kind of the same with cell animation. You just take pictures of these still images, and
Yeah.
but it's a little
I guess,
confusing.
like,
But isn't
yeah, it's a
otherwise
little
just like
confusing. Like,
yeah.
I think it
I
depends
guess the
on
stop
like.
motion is like real life objects in this case, and like give them little like arms and make them move like puppets. I guess that's the difference.
Yeah, like the Adventures of Prince Ahmed would counter. This movie doesn't. I hate this movie doesn't exist. It hurts me every time I think about it. Like the very, very first animated movie from Argentina, like El Apostol,
yeah.
just got lost into fire. And every time I think about it, it's like, God,
Oh dang.
if I go back in
that-
in time and save one movie,
Oh.
it would probably be that. Because that's like the
That-
same sort of technique of cutouts, apparently.
Yeah.
The idea of that movie actually inspired me to
to
create my own stop motion series.
Oh yeah.
Man.
You want to
The whole-
I
promote?
get sad every time I think about that movie not existing. It gets sad. It's like I can never
All of
watch
his
this
work.
movie.
In an alternate universe, it exists.
Yeah.
We
Time
just gotta
to
break into the multiverse somehow.
move into
Yes.
that universe.
God, there's got to be someone who has it. I just
I came
refuse
up
to
with a-
believe it's gone forever.
I came up with a story once, like the multiversal video rental store. You know,
Ooh.
where every like they have like weird stuff from every universe, like freaking like the lost like 3-hour cuts of some movies and stuff like that, and some movies that never got made, like instead of the Steven Spielberg finished version of AI, it's a Kubrick finished version of AI.
Sounds like
And stuff like that.
it sounds like a Rick and Morty episode.
Oh, even
the
better
ver-
is
I
the
came up with this.
The Black Friday version of Toy Story, where Woody's just the biggest asshole ever, is the movie in some universe.
Oh yeah.
my favorite multiverse video store is the one where you go in and everything's the same except Hell and Back doesn't exist.
Oh no, not Helen.
Oh, we're gonna get to that.
Yeah. Anyway, just to
Wait,
continue
Hell
on.
Back.
Just to continue on with the topics, now let's go on with worst movies, worst stop motion movies I've ever seen.
Oh baby.
I
Um,
I
I don't
have
know if I have. I don't know if I have a worst. I don't go out of my way to watch
So-
something I don't think I'll like. But
let me just start like
shall we start with at the bottom with Pale and then move my way up to me because I don't have an idea.
yeah, you know, we'll start with the bottom. Go ahead, Phil.
Alright. I'm gonna be honest. I love a lot of stop motion films. But there was one that I was really disappointed in, and that's Early Man by Aardman. It
Oh,
was disappointing.
The soccer movie.
Oh, the
Yeah,
soccer
it's
one.
a
It's like what's
soccer
Early
movie.
Man and rings a bell.
football.
It's
I
like,
remember it. Yeah.
I remember I saw it once and I was like, I'm not watching that again. It's, like
Yeah.
the
have
animation,
a-
the stop motion itself is great. It's just the story, the plot is it's not great. It's basically like these cavemen like have to get their home back by playing like football or soccer, and I think
Right.
it's dumb.
That movie
It's a
tricked
comedy
me.
film.
That commercial
It
tricked
did the
me.
trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I guess it's my turn. Like I'm in the same
Wait.
boat as Pale, just cause I haven't watched anything that I would consider bad, in stop motion wise, but I did find Box Trolls pretty disappointing.
Yeah. No one
kinda-
likes
Yeah.
Box Trolls.
Kind of like I like the character designs. I like how weird it is, but it felt kind of flat. Like kind of soulless compared to all their other works, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Although
Ooh.
I did like the
Um,
end credit scene joke of the existential crisis and just a guy
That was cool.
moving
I
really
really
fast.
liked that. Yeah. I love like how they the way that they show how stop motion is done with like the time lapse of everyone going in to move the figures.
Yeah, that's a great scene. But other than that,
Ooh.
I think the movie's kind of subpar compared to what they could have done. All right. Next person.
So
Close.
I have two. One I don't remember the name of, but I do remember, and the other I don't think. I have a weird relationship with the other one. I'll go with the other one first because I remember the name of it, and that is Fantastic Planet.
Oh,
I love.
that's your least favorite?
Well, it's complicated because I like Fantastic Planet. I think it's beautiful. I think it's wonderfully done. But at the same time, after watching it, I always feel like I want more. And it's not a good I want more. It's like a bad, like I felt
That's
like.
it.
Dude, I'm
Like-
right diffing the fuck out of this, Ryan.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's such a hot take. Pale's brother heard it and just like, fuck this amount.
But yes, Fantastic Planet. I love the film, but again, just the feeling of I want more is like eating at me whenever I watch that film.
Right.
And the other one, I forget the name of it, but I remember it was about it was like these two dudes, and they ended up on like a Coney Island type place, and they somehow end up going to hell. And there's
Hell and back.
To Hell and Back.
oh yeah, that I think that's the name of the film.
That's a
Yeah.
guilty pleasure of mine. I enjoyed that movie, even though it's
Some
really
garbage
stupid.
is okay.
Especially Bob Burger Rape Tree.
Oh yeah, he's
Oh,
played by
yeah,
John
they
Benjamin,
did have-
isn't he?
Yes.
Brendan.
Have a Bob's Burger
I
rape
still have to
feed.
see that one.
Yeah, I've never seen Hell and Back, even though everyone says it's horrendous, but
Oh,
I'm
it's
John
terrible.
Benjamin, and this is the only voice I'm allowed to do in movies.
Dang.
Yeah, I remember I discovered it on YouTube. Just somebody randomly uploaded it while I was looking for stop motion stuff to watch.
Oh no.
That's
And
the
I
best way to
watched
watch
it.
a movie like that.
Yes.
And I watched it, and I was just confused and just like disappointed. It's a train wreck you can't look away from. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
you can't look away. It's so bad, but I can't. I need to watch it. I need to know what happened and
Right.
why.
I get it.
The style of the studio, I have it pulled up right now. It looks like I think this is done by like the same studio that did like one of those studios that does stop motion Christmas specials for like whenever a show has a Christmas episode and they want to make a Christmas special.
yeah, they all look like the same sort of like 60s. What's the name of the company that made those like 60s stop motion?
The
stuff?
Frankenbass.
Rankin Bass,
Rankin
yeah.
Bass, yeah.
Rankenbass. Yeah.
I would say, yeah, Rankin Bass, the quality of them is not very good, but at the same time, it has a charm to it that's
Yeah.
entertaining. It's like it's really a matter of preference with with Rankin Bass stuff. One thing I watched the Quentin Reviews thing where he was talking with Worthy Kids, and like talking about the charm of Aardman and what makes it unique. And part of it was because the style of like the Japanese animators who made a lot of it happen. Because of like budgetary restraints, they had to find ways to make it look good without spending a lot of money. So part of that was that they couldn't have two different pieces for the mouth. They only had like a bottom part of the mouth. So if they wanted to make an O sound, they would have to have like the bottom half of the mouth from like a U
A
shape.
U shape. Yeah.
I can't have shit in this house.
And it just somehow it worked really well. And it's like, and he was just talking about like, I love the Aardman U so much that I even incorporated in like 2D and 3D stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like,
You mean the Rankin Bass U?
Yeah. The Rankenbass. Not Armin.
Yeah, it's like, and after like seeing him explain like what makes Aardman so unique, and then like going and watching like his stop motion style 3D stuff that he's made, like you can see how much it's insane how like accurate he's able to mimic the Aardman art style.
The Rankenbass.
Yeah, Rankin
You
Bass.
keep
Sorry.
saying Hardman.
All stop motion looks at stop motion. Oh, this is like Wallace and Gromit. Is this a Wallace and Gromit movie?
Yeah.
I love Nightmare Before Christmas.
I ranked it. Fucking master like
Where's Gumby?
Oh,
Gumby's
oof.
supposed to
Oh
be in
yeah.
this.
I gotta censor that.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Anyway, Alex, too. What's your least favorite stop motion movie?
Oh god, I'm sorry.
Least favorite, I'd probably. It's all right. Least favorite, probably it'd probably be my least favorite Rankin Bass special that ends up taking the cake for that. There aren't that many bad stop motion movies I've seen per se that make me say like this is bad. Just it's really tricky for me at least. Because even the worst ones I can think of, like Santa Claus is Coming to Town, I still has like scenes that I enjoy.
Wait,
But
you don't like? Am I the only one who likes that movie?
Which movie?
I mean,
Santa Claus is Coming to Town. It's my favorite of the Rankin Bass movies.
I still actually, you know what? I just remembered Rudolph. Rudolph is definitely is definitely worse than Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Yeah, fundamentally. I've never gotten Rudolph.
Yeah. That was the one that made him blow up too.
I know, it's just for some reason it's just weird. It's like
It just
something
resonates
about
with
it.
me for some reason, and then it got a CG sequel.
And yeah, and then there was that one with the Heat Miser and the Snow Miser.
Oh yeah, they
Mr.
did do a
Oh.
modern
Miser.
one.
Yeah.
They did a live action one too, where they like
They did-
recreated. There was like, or I saw a clip of it where they did the whole like Snow Miser, Heat Miser song, but it was in live action.
That sounds terrible.
It was very bizarre. I'm like, when did this happen? I feel like you ever just discover something and you're like, wait, how have I not heard about this? I feel like this is something
Yeah.
I would have heard about at some point.
Mhm.
I've seen the Snow Miser and Heat Miser thing been done by house puppetry.
Yeah, with the wind, the wind guy.
Dude.
Oh no. I was thinking
Don't play Ryan, sorry.
somebody turned their house into a big like display with lights and stuff and puppetry, and did Snow Miser and Heat Miser, and it was pretty cool.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move on to Alex and Menace. What about
Yeah, okay.
your
Yeah, I thought of it in the meantime. So I think like my least favorite like movie, not counting like specials, because well, yeah, it'd probably have to be like Missing Link, mainly because I just didn't care for. I don't even dislike it. Like I don't, like I said, I don't think I've seen a stop motion movie I hate, but I didn't care for it at all. And it's kind of a thing where it's like it's just very like the stop motion is really good, but I think the story and like its characters are kind of like very kind of, I don't want to say like one note and stuff like that, but it just kind of feels like it's taking off like a list of like a little like checklist of
my
like, okay,
God,
we gotta include this in this movie and this and that, and yeah, I don't know. I'm not a
By
fan
the
of Missing
number?
Link, and a lot of people don't seem to like it that much either, from what I've heard.
I've only seen it once, but I enjoyed it. What I found very impressive is the Missing Link's fur texture. Like even though it technically isn't stop motion, because I'm pretty sure they digitalized that, it's still impressive how it meshes well with the rest of the environment.
Right.
I still need to see that one.
That's it. Stop the podcast. We gotta watch it now.
Let's go.
Missing Link, more like missing a movie in my library.
Like most movies for me.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's enough about movies. We'll find something interesting and probably talk about it way more in depth later on, like in a different podcast or not. So next topic is shows, like best and worst
Glenn
shows.
Martin DBS, the best show on television.
We'll get to there. We'll go with like the favorites first, okay, and we'll start from like top to bottom. So Alex and Menace, you can go first.
This is a G, not a GR.
Do you want me to talk about like favorites or just shows or what exactly?
Favorite stop motion shows,
The stuff that sticks out.
or yeah,
Well, there's shows that have a lot of stop motion in them. That I'll mention those I guess first because I don't know. Like there's like Gumball, has like a ton
Oh,
of
yeah.
stop motion and stuff. Well, it's like a mixed media show, but Gumball's like a pretty good show. A lot of like stop motion, but that's not fully stop motion. Neither is like Courage the Cowardly Dog or
I get it.
Flapjack or something. But for shows, I guess the only one I can think of right now that I like, because I guess I have a kind of a hot take on one of these shows, but I'll mention it later. Is like the PJs. I don't know if you guys remember that show.
God, yes.
Oh,
Yes.
fuck
Will
yeah, I
Vincent
remember
worked on that show.
Yes.
I love this game.
Yeah, I used to
And
because they used to show reruns on Adult Swim and stuff like that, and I thought I haven't seen it in a while, but I remember thinking it was like, I don't know, I really liked it, and it's kind of gross, kind of dingy environment of the show, but I thought it was pretty funny, and Eddie Murphy's in it, and I don't know what else to say. I haven't seen it recently, so I can give you like a detailed analysis of this is why the PJs is brilliant, but no, the PJs comes to mind for something I like, and when I was younger, also like the Alex 1, Alex 2. I think I asked you about this. Is it called like Cashbox or something?
Crashbox.
Cashbox.
Crashbox.
Oh yeah,
It's on HBO
the
Family.
HBO
Yeah.
show. Yeah.
Yeah. That's one I like to watch also when I was younger. It creeped me out a little bit, but I liked it. It was very interesting and like its
Very
format and
educational.
style. Yeah, it's educational, but it's I don't know. It's an interesting show. I thought it was very interesting. That's about it. All I can think of for stuff I like.
Alright. So before we go to Alex
Kind of
2,
specials and stuff.
I forgot to mention something on movies. Zodi's not here, but he did want to mention like his favorite movie, stop motion movie, is Mary and Max.
Yeah, that
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
I don't know if you've seen it, but it's an excellent movie. I recommend it as well. Also very depressing movie, and especially I really feel bad for Max at the end. Even though he achieved happiness, I still feel bad for him.
I'll have to add it to my list.
I also like the use of color in that film. How it's like black and white on Mac's side, and it's more sepia on Mary's side. The first time I saw it was kind of weird to me, but it's a very nice artistic choice. Film.
Right.
If Zodi was here, he'll probably talk more in depth on it. But yeah, I just leave it like that. Alex too, you can continue on.
That's a movie on my list also.
As far as like best stop motion shows for me, the best shows I think I've seen are probably like shorts that have been aired between commercials or episodes of shows that happen to be stop motion in terms of like TV stuff. I guess Robot Chicken would be the best show that I've seen because the only other one I can think of is Glenn Martin DDS, and
the best show ever made.
Oh yeah, the show that had a laugh track for 2 episodes, and then the creators realized, wait, this is stupid, and then stopped doing it.
Wait, wasn't that the one with the dog with the anus?
Yeah.
It was the dog who had a big anus, and it was funny because the dog had a big anus.
And the kid was horny, and the dude kid was horny.
Yeah, like literally every adult animated show, the kid is horny, the dad's stupid.
Yeah, you got like
the
Chris
dad.
Griffin.
I remember the dad did like a tooth repair on a mobster, and became like an honorary mobster for an episode.
There are some concepts in Glenn Martin DDS episodes that were kind of funny, but the execution was just not very good. Like there's the one
when it came out, and I was like, "Wow, this is a waste of time. I'm never watching it again."
Yeah, I still have a memory of one episode where the son feels like he doesn't have a place in the world, but when the family visits the circus, he decides he realizes his calling in life is joining the circus. And
the mom takes a bunch of steroids and pees standing up.
Oh
in
yeah,
that
yeah.
episode.
She says, "Have my drink. It is full of tea." And then it shows the tea, and it says testosterone. And then her son starts to make a name for himself by sticking his head up an elephant's ass.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That's literally all, and that's all he does.
Oh yeah. It's like that one episode of South Park where Kenny will do anything except not as funny.
Yeah.
Or even... Yeah, that episode was weird.
Oh, okay.
Man, the episode where he sticks his head up an ass is funny. I like the part where he sticks his head up an ass.
Poop, caca, doo-doo.
I don't think it actually shows the poop because that would be too much.
That's a
I remember
Nickelodeon
it was
safe.
implied.
Remember the Glenn Martin DDS episode where like the dad like accidentally has cock and ball torture done to him?
You're a ghost.
I remember the episode. I was about to say something. I was about to say something terrible. I'm gonna stop.
All
Well,
right.
maybe.
Well,
Maybe on his own.
we'll just move on to Hollers
Maybe.
there.
That's literally the last one.
What was your favorite
Okay.
stop motion show?
Hollows.
That's a hard question.
Listen, and put me in it.
Currently, I recently watched through a show on Newgrounds that was buried called Lone Warrior Guy. It like ran for a few episodes and it was intertwined with another show the same guy did. But it's like that one other series, Clay World meets Madness Combat. Because you have the kind of like, of course, stop motion like Clay World and a lot of the same, like a similar style of humor, but it has the violence and kinetic action of whatchamacallit, of Madness Combat.
Oh, cool.
Surprisingly good. Like
Interesting.
really good animation on it. I mean, at least for like some dude in 2003 with Flash in his whatchamacallit, in his room.
Sweet.
Surprisingly good. Another one I want to mention is Marvel What The.
You mean what do you mean? What
What?
if?
No,
What?
What The.
What
Marvel
fuck?
What The. Yeah, back in the old days, Marvel had a comic called Marvel What The, which was a parody of Marvel What If, and it was just meant to make fun of Marvel Comics. And
Damn.
Marvel What The literally spawned Spider-Ham. That's where he comes from.
Oh, that's actually. I would love if that came back instead of What If.
But yeah,
Marvel.
They adapted Marvel What The into a web series where they would animate it, and they would stop motion animate the like Marvel Legends action figures, but they would digitally animate the faces, so it was kind of weird and cheap looking, but it was very fun. And I recently went back and watched some of those episodes, and my God, has it aged terribly. Fucking. But there were some episodes that aged pretty better than others, but a lot of it's just crap. And it's a mixture of bad old pop culture references that I now get, because back when I watched it, I was a little kid, I didn't understand these things. But now that I understand them, they're so old that it's like, it's cringe. And there was this one, what was it? There was, oh yeah, another part of the reason why it's so aged terribly now is I now know a lot more about the guys behind the show, and if they're like a lot of the guest stars they have, in particularly, a lot of them are like just total asses in real life now.
Oh damn.
Yeah, some of the writers, man.
Oof.
But yeah, actually, this is Marvel What The really popularized the idea of Goofy MODOK as we know him today.
Yeah, that's sort of the biggest stop motion show on the circuit right now.
Oh yeah. That MODOK show probably spawned from Marvel What The. But honestly, Marvel What The's MODOK had a better voice. for the character, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
But they gotta
It was like
they gotta get like the celebrities in there.
No. In the show, I think the same guy who did Murderface's voice from Metalocalypse did the voice for MODOK. Except instead of Murderface, he's a lot deeper and more nasally. MODOK is higher, but still pretty nasally.
Interesting.
And there's one episode where it's like Old Man Logan, but it's a parody. So Old Man Logan is like a crotchety old man, and his son takes him to a nursing home, and like all the superheroes and villains are old and crusty now, and the only one who's not old and crusty is MODOK. And then he gets smothered. And then he gets smothered by the Hulk
Good.
and dies.
Oh no! What a horrible
I
ending.
wonder how big.
Right.
Now I'm wondering how big the Hulk's colostomy bag is.
Oh, you can see it in the episode.
Perfect.
Are we gonna get to Tuner or Pale?
Yeah,
I keep forgetting
it's-
if we
Oh.
or you or
It's-
Pale. I don't know.
I'm next.
Alright.
So I in my notes I have a couple of shows that I just want to mention. One of the as a kid, I always like Bob the Builder. Like
Oh yeah, I
um,
forgot
like,
about
Oh,
that.
dude, Bob the Builder was my shit.
yeah, I didn't
can't
start
believe I forgot
shit.
about him.
I don't. I kind of don't like that they made a CGI newer version of them. It
And
kind
it's,
of
he doesn't have little black dots for eyes anymore. He has
I
like
know,
pigtails,
right?
and it's like ruins the appeal of his design.
it takes
It's cheap. It's cheaper and also more boring.
a charm
I-
away from it. You were gonna say something? How's it there?
Yeah, I had a Bob the Builder giant plush toy when I was little, but I have no idea it was like a toddler-sized toy, but I have no idea where it went.
Lost in time and space. But
It got sucked into the void. It got sucked into the back rooms.
yeah. Anyway, for like the favorite shows so far, at least for me, is Robot Chicken, because I remember staying up late, 8-year-old me staying up super
Oh,
late
dude.
just to
same.
watch
Oh,
Robot Chicken.
Where's my luck?
Yeah.
I was like,
There's fun.
Good old days.
There's funny stuff on there.
Yeah, Robot Chicken definitely has its moments, and like the memory of like the thrill of staying up late and being able to see something that you couldn't usually see on Cartoon Network, like that alone sort
Yeah.
of made it worth the price of admission.
Yeah. Another one is I recently saw Moral Oral, something I kind of skipped as a
my-
kid, cause
Yeah, man.
I just was reminded. Can I say something?
wait, give me a second. So like, I kind of skipped over it as a kid because I thought it was boring, to look at. But I recently saw it and it's impressively really good and dark and freaking like a great story as well. Like I will recommend it for everyone to watch
Yeah.
it.
It's like a really great parody of like the whole like Davy and Goliath style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what the fuck,
And
Johnny?
I just find it hilarious how Oral's misunderstanding just leads to the most horrific things possible.
Just
And
Yeah.
trying his best.
Dude, my luck is shit.
Oh god.
okay, go ahead, Hollister. Like, you were gonna say something
Oh.
about it.
Yeah,
the
go for
same
it.
dudes who did Moral Oral did one of my favorites, and I just remembered its existence. Frankenhole. I love Frankenhole.
I've never
Oh,
seen that
wait.
one.
I don't know
Oh,
what that
it's-
is.
It's wonderfully animated. Basically, Frankenstein discovered time-space portals, and
Whoa.
now in his town, which is like Monsterburg, there's all the classic monsters: Dracula, Blackula,
I'm
Dr.
sold already.
Dr. Jekyll, like Frankenstein, he's Rick before Rick kind of archetype, petty scientist who's the smartest guy in the room. Then there's his friend, who I forget the name of, but Dr. Pretorius, and Dr. Pretorius is flamboyantly gay. And
Sweet
then you
dude.
have like Dr. Jekyll, who's like the pathetic wannabe scientist, and he's constantly
God.
made fun of and degraded by Frankenstein, and like Hitler comes to Frankenstein in one episode and asks to have his ability to hate Jews taken away. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
And then another episode has what's his name, Thomas Jefferson, come to Frankenstein for a bigger dick.
Damn.
It's just,
I mean,
there's,
looking it up, it looks pretty. I like the style of it. It looks pretty nice.
oh, it's a beautiful series, wonderful animation,
Also,
and such good comedy. Oh, there's an episode where the dude bro dirtbag son of Michael Jackson comes from the future and revives him, and then Michael Jackson rejects his own son, gets combined with the Elephant Man skeleton, and becomes the adopted dad of Frankenstein.
Whoa, intense.
Right. We
oh
should.
yeah, I just remember the
Tales.
Shivering Truth,
Oh yeah.
that Adult Swim
We're-
show by the Xavier Renegade Angel guy.
Oh, that's a great show. But
Oh
anyway.
yes.
I think that's probably my favorite stop motion show in terms of like objective quality.
All right. So just to finish off my list, basically it's just like two more things. Crossing Swords, that is on Hulu. It's like a medieval parody, whatever, made with like little wooden toy characters. It's fucking stupid. It's probably horrible, but I enjoyed it. It's just like classic 2000 raunchy comedy, like Robot Chicken, and but somehow just like dumber. But I enjoyed it anyway. And the last one is like Rilakuma and Kari. That's on Netflix. That's just very super wholesome. Fucking, I enjoyed every frame of that show, and even if it's just even if it's just what 8 episodes or 12, I don't remember.
Yeah.
And kind of slow pace, but it's just so adorable,
Slice of life.
so adorable to look at, and
Oh my god. I keep remembering stuff like, have any of you guys seen A Town Called Panic?
yes, that is the
As a disco?
strangest stop motion movie I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. To me, that show feels, it's like it captures the energy of what it's like for a little kid to play with like action figures, where they just come up with like the weirdest nonsense ever.
Yeah,
That sounds like that. That sounds like that one Nickelodeon show. What's that one called? Like from the early 2000s. It's like a stop motion stuff with like toy superheroes. It's like
Action League now.
yes.
It's not stop motion. It's technically a figure-based puppetry. It's different.
That's
Still.
wasn't that
Eh,
stop motion?
so kind of counts, I think.
Stop
well,
motion
if
has
that
like
counts, then I have to mention something.
Can you mention
Okay, it
it?
doesn't count.
Wait. Can you mention it after Pale's list?
oh yes.
Okay. Yes.
No,
Dang
we're
it.
taking a while.
Yeah. Y'all mentioned a lot that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to mention Crashbox, but that's technically though the majority is stop motion. It's not completely in stop motion, but I did want to mention Rilakumu and Karu, because that's one of my favorites. Moral Oral.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, I took most of yours.
Yeah, I was gonna. Oh, actually, no one said this, so I'm gonna mention it. The creator of Moral Oral, who also created Mary Shelley's Frankenhole. Hold on, what's his name? He is. Hold on, I might be butchering the name. My apologies. Canstinos Dino Stamtopolis or something like that. Which
Whoa.
the actor who's best known as Alex Starburns from Community, which I did
Oh,
not know.
cool.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
That's really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. And then I guess I don't know if I would say Robot Chicken is another favorite, just because it was a favorite of mine as a kid, like watching it late at night, like I'm being a bad little kid, but
Yeah.
I don't know, because I feel like I don't know if it was just me growing up or the humor's right out, because I was looking at the Wikipedia and it looks like they went through several like writers and producers and stuff, like who took charge, and I'm like, dang, I don't know if they had to do something with that, but yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
now you can say what you were gonna say. Hollows there.
I remember two. So, does anybody remember Domo?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's the 7-Eleven
Yes.
thing.
That sounds
Oh, yeah.
familiar.
The one that emo kids in middle school like really loved for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't get that, but I remember seeing, I think it was on the Funimation network, a bunch of Domo shorts they showed for a while, and I remember really enjoying them, but just Domo was just weird, a weird experience in my life
Yeah.
viewing that show. And the other one I wanted to mention, since technically we mentioned Action League Now and action figure puppetry, is Monster Island Buddies. It is stupid yet clever. It is just it's one of those shows that, yeah, after watching it for a while, you first think, oh, this guy has no plans. Then you realize, oh, this guy has plans, and then you think, this guy does he have plans? And it's just one of those. It's a roller coaster of emotions and confusing storylines with space-time pair of ducks and D-list actors being the almighty god.
Right.
Ridiculous show.
All
There
right.
was one thing, 'cause stop motion stuff has like a tendency to sort of like disappear into your memory and just like and just fall into like the deep recesses of your mind until all of a sudden you remember it. Like for some reason that happens so much with stop motion stuff.
Hibernation, man, it's weird in brains.
It's molded into your mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, just to continue on, I have written in my notes like the worst, but everyone kind of talked about their worst show. I think everyone talked about their worst show. I
don't know if I have a worse show. I didn't mention my hot take, I guess, but I like with Robot Chicken, I liked it as a kid. I don't know. I think it works better in small doses. Every time I try to watch it now, it's kind of like that. This is like Family Guy cynicism times 10. It's like I don't know.
I get
That's
it.
not my least favorite. That's not my least favorite. It'd probably be Glenn Martin DDS. But yeah.
Yeah.
Funny enough, in my notes, I have Glenn Martin DDS as my least favorite, as the worst stop motion show, and I've only
Yeah.
seen one episode of that, and I
I've seen a
definitely
couple.
consider it as the worst. And there's nothing like, I don't know. It's just kind of bad overall. Like, not interesting, kind of generic character structure, doesn't really
Yeah.
do anything kind of new, and I feel
The
like
novelty wears thin really quick.
it relies on gross out. I haven't seen the series, but I feel like it relies on gross out.
No,
But-
you're right, it does.
But it's on Nickelodeon, so it has to be tame. I think it was on Nickelodeon, right?
It
was
was.
Nick at Night.
It
So
was
they
the
could
first.
do a little more.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the first Nick at Night original series, like.
Fatherhood
animated
was.
series.
No, yeah, I'd say Fatherhood came before that.
Wait, was Fatherhood animated or was that a live action one?
Yeah,
It's
animated.
the Bill Cosby animated show.
Oh yeah.
No.
There's like a
I
purple
forgot
dog.
he did one of those.
I saw Fatherhood is sentimental. Okay, I saw it when it first came out. It really raised me. No. I mean, I did see it when it came out, so I do have like specific memories with it. But yeah,
All right.
Yeah, I have the same thing with his albums.
Anyone else want to mention like bad stop motion movies that you haven't mentioned? already?
For shows?
That's about. That's
Movies or
about.
shows?
I mean shows, yeah, bad stop motion shows.
No, I can't think of
Um,
anything.
I not really. I guess Robot Chicken is the one I love and hate. Probably that.
All right,
Yeah.
console has decided. Glenn Martin DDS, worst show ever made.
Yeah. Man, I remember there was like I saw a video a long time ago of like a little. It was like a fifth grader or something posting a rant about what they hated about about how much they hated Glenn Martin DDS. They're holding up like their camcorder, looking at their TVs, like I just saw this stupid show called Glenn Martin DDS. And then
Hey,
he
don't
like
talk about my video.
he reads the description of the show, and the guy's like, "What kind of show is this?" Well, Glenn Martin DDS, I'll see you in hell.
Those old YouTube rant videos are weird. Like, look up Fanboy and Chum rant videos from like 2010.
Oh,
It's like,
there's gonna be
Aw.
so many.
There's
yeah.
Lost in time and space.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I wanted to mention like one of my favorite shows had there are some shows that I really like that have those like weird stop motion episodes, and one of my favorites is the episode of Venture Brothers.
Wait a minute. That's like the next
Well,
section.
we're getting
That's
Yeah,
a-
the next
oh.
thing.
That's like the
Yeah,
next section.
impaled
Yeah.
first.
Yay, baby!
Hell yeah. Hey,
Alright, so I forgot to mention one more favorite stop motion series I like. And that was I Spy. There was a series on HBO Family that aired there. I Spy, based on the books.
Yeah.
It's pretty wholesome. It's cute. I like it.
Nice.
But yeah, in terms of stop motion segments in shows, movies, and games, I didn't really think of any like movies. I mean, not movies, games, but I did have stuff for like shows and movies. I just got reminded of one. There was like one stop motion episode in Community. I remember that one. That one was pretty great. I think it was like a Christmas special, right? With
Yes.
Abed.
The
Yeah.
Abed
Yeah.
Abed
I love
Christmas
that.
special.
Yes. I love it. Crashbox. It's mostly stop motion, but it's not entirely stop motion. Which is an educational kid show. I like to think of it as kind of like not Crashbox, just kind of like Jackbox, but like as a TV series, sort of. Because you're kind of like the characters in the show, like they make you interact and like play the games, and then they're like, "Oh, hurry up, time's ticking." But yeah, a little curious. It's like a mixed media kind of thing. It was an animated children's TV show that also aired on HBO Family. It was aimed at preschoolers, and they had like stop motion, 3D, 2D, cell animation, CGI, even live segments. It's really interesting. See. And Pee-wee's Big Adventure, there was like I think 2.
Yeah. There's
motion
Large
segment.
Marge and
Yes.
Yeah.
there's
And
the
then, like,
dinosaur in his nightmare.
Yes.
Large
yeah, exactly.
Large Marge scared me as a kid.
Oh.
And then when she emerged from the twisted, burning wreck, she looked like this or something. And then just like, yeah, man, I love that movie so much, but yeah. It's like one of my favorite movies.
There was a movie I watched on a friend's server last night. We were watching Big Trouble in Little China,
Yeah.
and there was like a stop motion
Oh.
segment with like some creepy blob thing. I didn't know how to describe it. It had like eyes or something.
Wasn't there a guy in
That
Big
was,
Trouble in Little China who just gets so angry he explodes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sweet dude.
That's him.
That's a great death scene.
Yeah. Beetlejuice had like some stop motion segments
I
in
love
there.
Tim Burns' early movies, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. God, I love him. Trying to think.
Got that jank.
Yeah.
You need that jink. Well, while pelting,
Okay.
I'll just go on with mines. And
Go
uh,
ahead.
at least in my
What?
like she mentioned a couple of mines of
Aw.
like the community episode and whatnot. It's fine. I know there is one episode of Gravity Falls that has stop motion that I really liked. The one where Mabel has just a phobia of stop motion, and they
Yeah.
had to fight I think it's a star. I don't remember well. That one's
I-
great. Then there's like a Frankenbass parody inside Channel Chasers, the Very Odd Parents
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's like
not
a little
stop
stop
motion.
motion.
Uh,
Oh, world
yeah, that I always
mimics
found
it.
I always found it very great. And also, Channel Chaser is probably the best Nickelodeon movie ever made.
Yeah.
Well, straight to TV
Yeah, like TV
Nickelodeon
movie.
movie.
Yeah, I was like, I don't. Yeah, it's like a TV movie. Yeah,
TV
maybe.
movie. Best movies Rango,
Wait.
but that's like a different
Yeah.
topic for another day.
Right. One thing I remember that was sort of done as like partially for a commercial and partially as like a special thing to promote. It was something they did for Disney XD where they had like different characters from animated shows in stop motion walking around like the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland. And they actually like included characters from the Haunted Mansion too, which was like I felt very seen. It was nice. So you'd have like Star and Marco like encountering the Hatbox Ghost in the Haunted Mansion.
Nice, very nice.
I love it. I love theme park stuff.
Alright, and last thing I have written down is this was mentioned beforehand, but like that one character, Clay from Amazing World Gumball, I just love how he's integrated into the show, and I love all of the characters and how they're integrated, but Clay is just they really uh, get that what is it, claymation done just right, and it's surprisingly
don't-
smooth.
Yeah.
I think Clay is CG.
I think everything in Gumball is CG, but they just
Not everything.
style shift
Not
everything.
If it's CG, then it's very
Sassy.
well made to look like claymation.
Yeah. It looks authentic though.
There is that one. There's a one character that's literally just one of those like weird, upside down chin puppets.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that one.
That's Susie Eats.
Yeah.
Okay. Pell, you remember what the other thing you were gonna say?
What other thing? I think that was it.
That's not how dyslexia works.
That's it. Okay.
Um,
Well.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh wait, Movements. Sorry,
Wait.
Moomin?
Movements. I don't know if it was like I don't know if the whole movie was or just like parts. I'm not too familiar with the Moomin films. I've seen some of the series, but I think there's like a film that's in stop motion. I don't know if it's entirely in stop motion or not.
People hear me?
Yes.
Yeah,
And hello.
we have
Hello.
a guest.
Surprise guess.
Oh my god, it
A
is in stop.
newcomer.
It is in stop motion. I love this.
It's so cute.
Moomin?
Yeah, I'm just gonna be here for just a
Oh
little bit.
my god, this looks like Dougal but good.
Noble, but good.
What do you mean? Dougal is amazing.
'Cause it has like that sort of magic roundabout feel to it, but it looks really charming and fun.
Yeah.
From what?
From the
yeah.
creators of the Fairly Odd Parents.
Oh god.
I don't know what you people are talking
Dougal. Well, we're not talking about Dougal. Someone just mentioned Dougal.
Stop motion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright. We'll move on to I think Hollisler turn.
Yeah. So I remember one episode of Venture Brothers where Doc, Rusty, Venture drags some of his friends to this random island in Greece, and one of his friends, Billy Quizboy's arch nemesis, comes to the island and causes all this drama. And Billy has a dream where his arch nemesis is a stop motion creature from Ray Harryhausen, and he has to defeat him. And they do him in stop motion, and it's beautiful, and it's a great episode. Also, another one I wanted to mention, and I know people are gonna have multiple reactions to it, or probably just one. Moonwalker. Does anybody remember that?
Yeah, because it had the
Michael
one scene
Jackson.
where Michael Jackson is a rabbit for some reason.
Oh yeah, and then yeah.
Well, also the Leave Me Alone
And
music
that-
video, but
Yeah.
He's
Like-
not just a rabbit, but then he turns into Pee Wee Herman, which is multiple levels of wrong.
And he's chased by the Noid.
Oh yeah, the Noid. Yeah, he shows up and then fucking the whatchamacallit. For some reason, even though the rabbit was literally a costume that Jackson was wearing, it
And then he dances with him.
It comes to life and he dances. Yeah, that was That was such a mind trip of a movie.
Not as also you had Joe Pesci as the evil drug dealer who wants to destroy children.
Oh yeah, totally. One thing, are we including movies with stop motion special effects
Yeah.
here?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Go for it.
Gotta loosen up. Gotta loosen up.
For Hollister's 2-hour discussion of Ray Harryhausen.
Ray
TED Talk.
not just Ray Harryhausen, but I also like RoboCop. You got RoboCop with Ed 209 and Phil Tippett. Oh, I forgot to mention Phil Tippett earlier. I watched one of his movies for this called Mad God, which is like it's like a weird mix between Gumby and Abe's Oddworld. Like vibe-wise, it feels kind of like Gumby, but overall design and feel-wise, it's like Abe's Oddworld. It's one of the trippiest movies I've ever watched, and it's split into 3 parts. The first 2 parts are fantastic. The third part kind of lets you down, honestly. But yeah. But yeah, Phil Tippett, he did the stop motion in Star Wars, he did the stop motion in RoboCop. Great animator, but the real king is Ray Harryhausen, who, fun fact, during World War II served in the same branch of the military and the same specific unit as Dr. Seuss and Stan Lee.
That's sick.
The creative unit.
Yeah.
The creative.
Yeah.
So many
bunch
like rich people, like not rich, but like influential people, just happened to bump elbows during World War II. It seems like Walt Disney met the McDonald's guy, Ray Kroc.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say because like just because there was a draft, like because you have millions of people, you're bound to run into someone that's going to be famous eventually.
That's true.
Yeah. But yeah, Ray Harryhausen, such a great animator. I think my favorite one of his characters is Talos from I think his version of the Odyssey. I think it was, or at least a part of the Odyssey. But yeah, Talos, just a giant steel man who moves and creaks, and I love how they made him move like an actual like giant steel man, or bronze technically. And King Kong is good.
King Kong's revolutionary for stop motion.
Yeah, I
If you want
consider
to get
King
technical,
Kong. Yeah.
If you want to get technical, like technically the Velociraptors in the original Jurassic Park were stop motion, kind of.
Well, they weren't.
well,
The original they were going to be originally stop motion, but like Spielberg was like not happy because they're like it's too jittery. Like no matter how smooth they get it, it's always a tiny bit jittery.
Well, I think it was like what they like designed an armature that can translate the motions into a computer.
Yeah. They what they did was they put a bunch of white dots on the already made armatures and recorded the animation, the stop motion animation, and somehow applied that to the computer animation to help it along.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the movie, the dinosaurs themselves are not stop motion. It's all CGI and animatronics.
Yeah.
But
because there was a test that was leaked. There's like a test that's online of like what they were going to look like in stop motion, and it looks really weird.
It looks cool, but it's not as realistic, I guess, as what they ended up doing, because it kind of would break verisimilitude. It's like, oh, it's like the skeletons and that Jason and the Argonauts, but
Right.
Oh, that reminds me.
It has its place in the movie, though.
Oh yeah.
that reminds me. I've seen so many of these like weird videos where they're trying to up the frame rates of like the skeletons from Jason the Argonauts and stuff.
Oh no.
Yeah, those
And
are
it looks
terrible.
it looks so wrong.
With the
Well, it's 'cause-
interpolation and
Yeah, because it's terrible. Just because it's like trying to make it smooth, but then it's like missing that these things are moving. Their timing and like their movement and stuff is made specifically to be in 24 frames a second. And if you're upping it just makes everything floaty and like it kind
like
of
all
I don't
the
know.
frames blur together. So
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can't.
'cause-
So like, if you pause at a weird time, it'll be like this weird blob.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like when people do that, but that's another topic.
Yeah.
For another day.
It's very dumb. I can only imagine how many like things there are of just people uploading stop motion movies with like the 60 FPS frame blending. It's like, look, it's so much better.
Only gamers
Yeah,
think
it's
that.
annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if it's not in 60 frames, like if it's in 60 FPS or more, it's better. And it's like you guys don't understand how timing works in animation. If it's something is in 24 frames a second, you don't up it up. Up. I can't talk. You don't up the frames. It's like again, it's a timing thing. Like everything's timed to a certain amount of time and frames and stuff. And if you try to, I don't know. That's another topic that I'm getting off.
Yeah. Anyway, I want to mention a small thing, like how the Slayer said RoboCop, and I just want to point out how all the effects of that movie are amazing and probably groundbreaking at the time, except for the falling death scene of that one
Yeah,
CEO.
Long arms.
What the
Yeah, the
fuck?
long arm.
What the fuck happened
Giant
there?
arms.
He suddenly has like 10-foot
Clearly,
long arms.
no. Clearly, they got Lanky Kong to do stunt double work.
It's got like the Fat Albert arm where like you're pointing and you have like
It's like they ran out of budget just for that one scene or something, man. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know what happened with that because then you look at the same time period. There's like Die Hard when I forgot the name of the character, but when the main bad guy played by
The Snape.
yeah, Snape, the actor. Yeah, like when he falls,
Yeah.
it looks fine, but for some reason in RoboCop it looks really bad. But I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, one honorable mention to a film that was supposed to have stop motion special effects at one point, but then the people producing it said Ray Harryhausen is too expensive and went with a random duo of dudes to make a puppet, and that is Giant Claw. It's as big as a battleship. It is so bad. It's wonderful.
It's so bad. It's good.
The Giant Claw itself is a giant buzzard with bug eyes that cause like a. It's just so weird. It's like an extra dimensional giant buzzard that's made out of antimatter that starts eating people.
Yeah.
nice.
Nice. All right. We'll move on. We'll move on to Alex too. Like, you got
So
any
we're talking like just other stuff.
like segments, stop motion segments in like anything really. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Anything that like is memorable in your mind. Yeah.
I remember there was like an episode of My Name Is Earl where
Oh
like,
yes.
where like one of the characters is tripping out, and so he imagines everyone is being stop motion.
Ooh.
That was kind of funny.
That reminds there's a similar segment in Home Improvement where Tim Allen is also like imagining everyone in a stop motion way, where everyone's like I think they're wooden stop motion figures.
Yeah.
It's pretty trippy.
Stop motion is like the go-to style for drug trips apparently.
Yeah.
Or hallucinations.
Yeah, I have a movie I want to mention with that, but first you get to your thing. Alex too.
Oh, I honestly can't really think of anything that leaps out to me. because I have some stuff to say about commercials, but other than that,
That's like the next segment.
yeah.
It's like the second to the last segment. Okay, well, should I go then if you can't think of anything?
Yeah,
Or...
go for it.
Go ahead.
Okay, because I was to say the drug thing. I had a movie. I was thinking. I don't know if you guys have seen a movie called Booksmart. Came out like 2 years ago. Heard of it at all? I don't know, but
No.
Yes, I've
okay,
seen
well,
it.
okay, it's like a comedy, like about these two high school girls who want to like. It's basically super bad, but with girls, and they're like rich, but whatever. And there's a part where they take like, I forgot what drugs on accident. Their food like, they take these things that they don't know is like laced with a bunch of stuff, and then like they start hallucinating, and it goes into the stop motion segment where they're like Barbie dolls, and it's like very vulgar, and I think it's really funny. I think some people think I don't think everyone likes that part of the movie, but I think it's pretty funny.
Well, I thought it was
But-
like one of the funniest segments of that movie. Really.
Oh yeah, me too. Also because I wasn't expecting animation, and every time I see animation in a movie that's not animated, I'm like, oh, there it is. But
Like, whoa, who'd they get to do this?
yeah. There's also I was thinking like the first Terminator movie, because they didn't use CGI for that. Like the second one they did, but for the first Terminator movie, there's a part towards the ending where it's the exoskeleton and he's like walking around, and it's like a little it's like stop motion,
Oh yeah.
and it's kind of
Yeah.
crude, but I personally like it because it's jittery and it makes him look creepy because he's supposed to be kind of scary. So it's like him moving all
Yeah.
jittery, kind of. I don't know. I that part always sticks out to me. There's also like Courage the Cowardly Dog has segments, little parts of it. Like there's that like girl playing the violin who when she turns around, she's like a stop motion like
Yeah, she's Large Marge.
girl. Yeah, basically
That
Large
reminds-
Marsh, yeah. And Courage has like more moments. That's the only one I can remember. Just gonna speed run through this, and there's this movie with a name that's not very appropriate now, but it's called like Indian in the Cupboard. There's like a part where like
Cowboy and Indian.
huh?
Or the
What?
I know the movie you're talking about. It's about a cowboy and Indian toy, and it's a magical cupboard. The magical cupboard or something like that.
Yeah,
And you-
Indian in the Cupboard is what it's called. And it's like a kid who, yeah, this cupboard full of toys, and they all kind of come to life. Like there's a part where there's like they're all toys, but everything's in stop motion because I think it's from the 90s, but I think most of it is in stop motion.
Right.
And there's like a Darth. I don't remember very specifically. There's like a toy Darth Vader fighting like a T-Rex.
Yeah, there's like a scene where he like experiments with the cupboard. And,
Yeah,
like, just like brings
it's
in a
like Night
dinosaur
at
and
the
Darth Vader,
Museum.
yeah,
It's like Night at the Museum, the prequel.
but
Yeah,
with
but
more
it's-
whimsy.
in stop motion. But
I remember. I think some of the characters were like just green screened, actual size dudes.
Oh no,
Yeah,
like the Native
For that,
American in the
yeah.
movie
But like
is
they
like an
used,
actual
like,
person.
some stop motion for like the smaller cameo stuff.
Does I was saying before I mention my next thing, I was gonna say does what's that movie? Small Soldiers doesn't use any stop motion. It's all like toys and CGI, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause-
Yeah,
I think it's CGI.
Okay, just making sure because there's parts where
Hey.
there are actual toys. And I just can't remember if they ever do stop motion with the toys themselves. But
I think
okay.
they do. I think they do. I think the only time I really remember I thought I saw stop motion in that movie was when like the eyeball guy is watching like 50s B movies.
Yeah, I was
That
watching
one
a
scene.
movie.
Oh yeah.
I always
yeah, there
thought
was
that was
the-
stop motion.
I forgot about the melting face from Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh yeah.
I guess that's
Um,
technically stop motion.
I think it is in some way, but also because someone mentioned Michael Jackson's Moonwalker earlier, I was gonna say the music video for Leave Me Alone because that's like it's not completely stop motion, but like there's a lot of
Yeah.
parts of it, and I think I don't know, I love that music video. It's like one of my favorite Michael Jackson songs and videos. But
Ooh, Sledgehammer, the music video for
Oh,
that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
can't believe
oh,
I
yeah.
forgot. Sledgehammer is like probably my favorite music video.
Yeah, by that was by Aardman too.
They did such a good job on that. It's so kinetic.
Wait, was
and
that Aardman?
beautiful.
Yeah, Aardman did the music video
That
for
was
Sledgehammer.
Aardman.
Oh, that's dope.
I mean, just thinking about that. What was it? just thinking about how much effort it took to make that stop motion with him singing and it actually be his face, you know?
Yeah, the lip
It-
syncing must have been hell.
It must have been fucking brutal, man.
I was
This
gonna
was like
say,
this was like in the 80s or 90s where you didn't have that kind of. You just had to eyeball something like that.
Yeah, and there was like a sledgehammer man at one point in the music video, and the chickens. Oh god,
Oh yeah, the dancing
chickens.
chickens.
That's probably my favorite part.
there's also the Evil Dead movies. They have
Oh,
like a lot of
yeah.
stop motion
Yeah.
in them, like all the original movies, the trilogy. Like they have
Army of
there's like a lot of
Darkness.
parts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's
Skeleton
like
Army.
Army of Darkness,
Oh,
skeletons.
yeah, and there's also this. I don't know how obscure it is because I don't think many people know what this movie is. It's from the '80s. It's like a horror kind of family-friendly movie. It's The Gate. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. It's basically these kids who listen to metal music and they play the music backwards, and if you play it backwards, it's like these demonic, symbolic messages, and like it makes these ghosts and demons come back to life and whatever. Is your brother? I was just sorry to just randomly mention, but does your brother keep responding to our conversations? Because sometimes I'm like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. It's like, oh, okay, be funny. I'm like, pull up then. No, yeah, but The Gate. That's a movie. That has like stop motion. It creeped me out when I was a kid. And I have like two more here. And I'm not sure if this counts exactly for this thing because the show isn't stop motion, but this one special is. There's like the SpongeBob Christmas special they made like about 7 years ago, I think, 6 years ago.
Oh, I love that special.
Yeah. I actually really liked it. It's like done in the style of like Ray Harryhausen. I'm not Ray Harryhausen. Rankin Bass type stuff again. Like it's like a fun Christmas special that I liked, and I might be alienating half of you guys, but maybe two of you guys do know what this is. By the way, is my audio okay? Just
Yes.
They're good. They're
because I looked over
Yeah.
and it was yellow. Yeah, the last thing was again, I don't know who I'm alienating here with this, but there's like a show, this Mexican show called El Chavo, and there's a part
yeah.
Classic.
Yes.
there's a couple seasons where the intro, instead of live action, it's done in this like cute, quirky stop motion sort of
I love it.
Rankin Bass thing. I'm not sure if I know Tuner and Pale might know what I'm talking about.
Yes, El Chavo del Ocho.
I know what you're talking about, but I haven't seen the intro. And it's been it's been
I
a
love,
while.
Yeah, there's like a
intro, the
couple
outro,
seasons.
and it's really cute.
Yeah, there's a couple seasons where the credits and the intro are like stop motion, and I always really liked that as a kid because it's it's stop motion. I don't know. I just had to I had to mention it. I had to. But
Thank God you did it because I did not have that in my notes. Oh,
someone should I can't talk. Someone should link it here. I might link it, but yeah, I think that's it for what I got for now.
I just thought of a few more, and I'm so sorry because my notes are all over the place.
Well, I'm done, so you can
go ahead.
Yeah,
go for it.
Okay, I've never seen Monkey Bones, but I heard Monkey Bones is a cross between live action and stop motion, if I'm correct.
Yeah, Monkey Bone is stop motion.
How can I forget Monkey Bones?
Like the character is stop motion, but everything else is sort of done in live action.
Yes.
And Suitmation.
I think you already mentioned King Kong, the 1933 film. Oh my god, very bad timing. Hold on, I gotta mute for a bit.
All right. Well, I'll just.
Sorry.
Cool. Call us back. You
all right. The intro of Flapjack has some stop motion in there.
Yeah. With the wooden puppets.
Yeah. I think Chowder had some stop motion things, or am I just thinking of the puppets at the end? I think
did have some stop motion stuff with like mixed media. There was like the one the pink monster guy.
Oh
yeah.
He would use like stop motion for the transitions.
Yeah.
There's the Even Stevens intro. That's stop motion.
Even Stevens.
I forgot about that.
Damn. I forgot about that.
Yeah. And then the Boomafu, which was a childhood favorite of mine, has like some stop motion sequences in there with like little animals and the Boomafu in there.
Yeah.
It's cute.
All right.
I think that's it.
That's it? Okay, cool. Now we can go to the other topic again. I guess we'll start with Pale this time, bottom up.
Yeah.
General likes and dislikes stop motion. Like why you like it or dislike it or both really.
Oh dang it! I wasn't prepared for this. What I like about it?
Oh yeah, we lost.
I don't know. I guess it's just to me, it's just like a childlike wonder. It's wholesome. It's cheery. It reminds me of my childhood. It's just like very playful. It has a nice charm to it. I just think it's fascinating how they make like the little figures move and stuff. I don't know if dang, I got a burp. I don't know if I really have anything I dislike about stop motion because I appreciate just about every stop motion there is, even if it's stinky. I'm like, wow, this is so cool. Like it's worked so hard on. Oh,
Oh, okay.
yeah. I'm sorry, my brother.
It's fine. I guess for my likes and dislikes, they're similar to Pale, but I really enjoy the what is it, the feel of stop motion where it feels like you're just playing with toys. It just like the ending and credits of More Oral, where he's just making movies with tiny figures of the town folks. I get that feeling from stop motion films. You know, really childlike wonder, and I also find impressive the amount of effort put into it just to make it move. Because I know all other animation mediums are long and tedious process just to make it look good, but I feel like stop motion is just extra hard.
Yeah, it
and
definitely feels like it. Like, oh my god.
and
it's
it's
so
like
much.
more like easier to screw up because you kind of have to start
Oh, yeah.
from scratch if you screw up. I feel like you have to start from scratch if you screw up. Maybe not now. Like maybe we got better technology or whatnot to
Oh,
keep
yeah.
the frame.
Yeah, if something gets out of place, you might have to start over because then it's just gonna jump in the middle of whatever your film is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
God, like if
the,
you touch the camera, even it's like God, you gotta start over.
you gotta start over. And then
Or even a bad lighting.
and then dislikes is just that it's the process of that because like I dabble in animation but I would never touch stop motion. That is a that is a really difficult to actually do and kind of really time consuming compared to the rest. I feel like it's really time consuming compared to the rest. uh, like uh maybe if I have more time I will dabble in a little bit more onto it, but yeah, those are my thoughts. I'll move on to Hollow Solaire.
Well, I just love animation, honestly. Or stop motion. Bleh. Sorry, my tired is starting to catch up with me. Well, honestly, I kind of love I love the process of it, you know, like how long it takes, because I actually do stop motion, and there's something very meditative about stop motion and doing it, and how long it takes, and how you need to focus on stuff when doing it, and so on and so forth. And figuring out like clever ways to get certain effects. I love those kind of things. I love clever stuff. Um, I love clever stuff. Yeah, like uh, in that one movie that Zodi likes.
Mary Max.
Yeah, that one. The water was made from lube.
Hot.
I love clever solutions to problems like that.
Yeah.
Like, for example, in one scene in that movie, like the ocean scene, it took like 13 gallons of lube or something to make the ocean.
Nice.
Damn.
Ew. Gross.
Not used lube.
No, I'm hiding.
Ah,
Oh.
damn it.
Sorry, I just had to take a little sip of my lube.
No. Used lube.
Oh.
Used lube is safe for sex life with robots.
Yes. I
This-
don't know.
This is a family-friendly podcast.
Okay, keep it
I don't know anything about sex, so
PG-13.
There was one thing
PG
that I heard,
for
like,
me, man.
there was one thing I heard, like, a stop motion animator say just about, like, the style of stop motion that kind of, like, stuck with me for a while. It's like, what makes stop motion so interesting to them, at least, is that when you see a stop motion film, it feels, like, tangible. You think, wow, this is,
You
Like,
took the word
especially-
I was going to use for my thing.
oh, sorry.
No, that's
But it's
cool.
like- But it's like the idea that, like, especially when you're a kid and you see something like Robot Chicken or Chicken Run, and it's like, whoa, it's like action figures. This is something that I have, and especially like seeing like Lego stop motion on YouTube. It's like, wow, like anyone can do this. It's sort of like this magical feeling.
Oh yeah, those we didn't mention. Well, I mean, what's the last segment we have? Like miscellaneous stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we'll get to that. We can't not mention the. Sorry, continue.
But yeah, it just like it's kind of like inviting in a way where it's like where you were able to see very clearly, like it's one of the few animation styles where you can see how the sausage is made to an extent. Like with CG, there's a lot of like complicated algorithms and stuff. With 2D, there's like there's a whole layer of things with that. But like just the idea of like stop motion and things like, wow, it's like puppets, but they're moving on their own. And then you learn about like, oh, I just take a bunch of pictures and success. Like that was the first movie-related thing I ever did. I was like, oh, I want to try making a stop motion, and I just like grabbed one of my sister's stuffed animals and did it, and I felt like a god.
Yeah. I have a similar story of that, but I just grabbed some of my sister's Barbies and did a short music video of a friend's song I did. I don't know if I have it saved in my laptop or not. I probably erased it.
I need that. That sounds cute.
I did something similar with my mom's Barbies. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Alex, too. Are you?
Oh, I'm done. You guys can go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, 'cause I forgot who mentioned it. Like, I think Tooner, you said it's probably like all forms of animation are hard, but stop motion might be the hardest, just because it feels like such a painstakingly like specific thing you gotta do. But at the same time, the funny thing is, it's probably the easiest one for anyone to be able to do at the same time. Like, you know, like trying to make a kid do like a 2D stop motion thing like with paper and drawings is kind of hard, and computers is like I don't know, that shit confuses me. But
It's easy to learn, but really hard to master.
yeah, but with stop motion,
Right out of
you
my
could
mouth.
easily do like, you know, Legos or I didn't do this, but my older brother, when he was like I think when he was like in 8th grade, he did like a stop motion, like a racetrack, like with NASCAR cars.
Dude,
cars.
same.
And that always sounds weird to say NASCAR cars, but like he like on our like living room table, he just like he just took a bunch of pictures of them, and like for whenever a car crashed, he used like one of those little cotton things for smoke.
Yeah.
He was creative. He needs to make something like that again. I'd help him. No, but yeah, that's what I like about stop motion. It's very, you have to admire it whenever you see really good stop motion. Like, you ever seen like Kubo and the Two Strings and stuff like that? Like, you just watch them, like, oh my god, this looks insane to do. But at the same time, it's also like approachable in some ways, which is probably why people, like, I've noticed people who are kind of stupid and don't like animation too much or don't appreciate it, they're kind of a little different with stop motion sometimes. Like, they can kind of see the artistry a lot more easier because it's like tangible and stuff like that, and like they know the process probably a little bit better. It's, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything I did.
Going back to animation as a whole, I think animation is just for kids and they don't appreciate it. No,
Yeah.
That's a
Stop
pet
motion
peeve
is
of mine.
makes me sad.
It's like the
Because you
Smash.
can do a lot with it. Sorry.
It's like the Smash Brothers of animation.
That's insulting to stop motion, but
I mean, it's easy to enter, hard to master. A lot of sweaty people do it.
That's just,
That
you
is,
could
you
just,
know
you
what?
could just,
That's a good point.
you could just
I
say
mean,
stop motion is the sex of animation because anyone can do it, but it's hard to master and everyone's sweaty. So
Everyone's-
I mean, I'm
And
speaking
it
from
involves
experience.
and lube
here.
is involved.
hell yeah.
I'm
Sorry.
I'm speaking from experience when it comes to anybody can enter and sweaty.
Hey.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
I get what you mean,
now.
but I don't think there's anything I dislike about it. Like, there's nothing I dislike. I don't know. It's just because you
Yeah.
said likes and dislikes. I'm like, why? What would I dislike about it? I mean, I guess if I was a stop motion animator, I would dislike how difficult it is. But that's with anything. That's any art form is difficult until you master it. But as a kid, I guess the reason this doesn't apply anymore. I actually really appreciate this about it. But as a kid, I didn't always like stop motion because I thought it was creepy, like the way it jitters around. Like it's
Yeah.
it's weird because it's sort of uncanny sometimes because it's like live action technically because it is a real physical tangible thing on screen, but like the movements is not real. It's simulated movement, so it's like like it moves, but it's like uncanny, like it's like a ghost or like a creepy. I don't know. That's why I didn't like it as a kid too much because it creeped me out. But that's like a big thing I appreciate about it now. It's like you can really do creepy, cool stuff with it.
Oh yeah.
That
Yeah, that's something I don't like about
the
stop
jitter-
motion. That's
the
something I don't like
jittery.
about the jittery nature of it. That's something I don't like about stop motion. That there aren't enough like animators trying to do horror stuff with it because there is so much potential. Like you can make
Yeah,
a
like
really
that, like-
cool
Yeah.
stop motion monster.
I highly, if you want
Like
to
Oh
stop
man, I got
motion
something
horror,
to mention in the next segment.
like that Mark Twain stop motion thing that
Yeah.
Holo was mentioned. Hollows. Sorry, I keep forgetting.
Hollow's Lair.
Hollows Lair.
I
Okay,
hate
it's
you.
Hollows. Yeah. Where he mentioned that movie, like, yeah, I think about that part. It's like that's something. I don't know. I don't think that scene would be as creepy if it was done in 2D or CG or live action. It's just there's just something
Right.
about it being stop motion that makes it creepy, like the way the mask moves around and I
It's
don't
like
know.
all the
Shifts.
contours and stuff of the clay.
God, that's
Also-
cool. Yeah.
Another good horror. I already mentioned this, but Mad God is great
Ooh.
stop motion horror.
Which way?
Just-
Which
God.
one?
I'll have to look that up.
Mad God,
I had to look that
great,
up.
great stop motion horror. It's grotesque but fascinating. You know. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's
This looks sick.
send a link to the
Yeah,
to the Discord
post it in
channel.
here.
Or
Yeah.
I'll post a trailer of the trailer. This
Yeah, I'll
looks
watch it later
really
because I'm
cool.
recording, so I can't watch it right now.
Yeah, I'll watch it later.
Oh, it looks like kind of a German expressionist sort of thing, just from the thumbnail.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Where are you posting this? Wait,
Podcast General.
podcast. I don't have Podcast General.
Oh, you don't have access to it? Oh, interesting.
I'll post it in Media Blast too.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, anything else anyone wants to say of like likes and dislikes?
We did hear it.
No.
No. I get. Then we'll just move on to just miscellaneous. Anything else you want to talk about that wasn't really covered on the other topics and whatnot. I guess we'll start with Alex and Menace.
We're talking about miscellaneous
Yeah, anything
stuff,
else?
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just get these out of the way because I've been having these tabs open so I don't like forget them. Because I didn't mention this because I didn't know where to put them, but like short films, like there's like two that I have open here that I've seen. Sister, and Memorable. Sister's like this kind of Japanese. I think it's Japanese. China. God, I hate that I made that confusion. But yeah, it came out 3 years ago. It's like the 8-minute short about like a man who remembers his childhood memory of growing up with an annoying little sister in 1990s China and how things would have gone differently. It's sad, but it's like kind of a cool like stop motion thing. It's called Sister.
Oh, nice.
It's like 8 minutes, and then there's another one that from 2 years ago that was I don't think it won, but it was nominated for like best animated short film at the Oscars. It's called it's French. It's like Memorable, like memorable.
Okay.
Memorab, yeah. And it's basically about a man who has dementia, and like he's a painter, and like slowly, like the more it's kind of like that Everything at the End of Time sort of album, where like it's paintings like how like as kind of dementia sets in further and further, you just kind of start forgetting things, and like this painter who used to be really talented in the short starts to forget like how to do certain things, so his paintings get more abstract, he forgets certain things, and then it's like
Oh yeah.
it's very sad. Stop motion is also
I
very
think
good at
that's
doing sad stuff, but you know,
Yeah.
it's I think it's a beautiful short about kind of like dementia, but also kind of like I don't know, it's just sad because it's kind of again it's about dementia, but it's a beautiful short about that, and it's like I don't know where you can watch. It's only like 12 minutes, but you yeah if you're in the mood for it, you probably should check it out. What were you gonna say, Hollows?
I think that's actually based off of a real story. I remember watching a video on like an artist who did that, like painted every day as the dementia took hold.
Yeah. There's an artist who did that. I can't remember who, but yeah. Like his self
Yeah.
portraits got worse and creepier. I don't know. It's just, it's disturbing. I don't want to make this a sad
Yeah.
podcast, but
There's some. Was there
continue.
anything? Or was there any like other?
Oh, there was, but if you were gonna make a quick tangent,
I got a lot to say for miscellaneous. So you go ahead, man.
okay. There's also Tim Burton's college short he did, Vincent. It's like 6 minutes long. It's like his, I think it's his thesis film for college, and it's like a really cool like. It's basically his kind of like about like Vincent, who's basically kind of a stand-in for Tim Burton, and like he's like this mad scientist and who imagines himself being not mad scientist, he imagines himself as like Vincent Price, like in another life he was born as Vincent Price, and his parents are like, you're not Vincent Price, your name is Vince, your name is I forgot his actual name, but it's like, you know, you're just a normal boy, stop pretending you're Vincent Price. And it's kind of like him falling into insanity because he believes so much that he's Vincent Price, and it's a Victor maybe, I don't know, but it's a cool short. You can find it on YouTube. It's Tim Burton's like final film. He did it to CalArts. I think it's very cool. And Vincent Price himself is the narrator.
That's awesome.
Yeah. He managed to get Vincent Price in a college film, but you know, there's also I'm looking above so I don't forget it. I think my last one.
If you're gonna get Vincent Price on the horn, you got to capitalize.
Yeah. And then, oh yeah, okay. And the last one I think I have for miscellaneous stuff, and this is one I cannot not mention. This is too important. Like the Nickelodeon Christmas stop motion commercials, where it's like all the Nickelodeon. It's from the early 2000s. Like all these Nickelodeon characters are together,
I love those.
and like
Oh
yeah, it's like a Christmas party type thing. Like there's like SpongeBob and Invader Zim and Timmy, the Rugrats, the Crimson Chin. There's a character from Rocket, you know, it's just like it's like this you can find a compilation of them on YouTube. It's like these Christmas stop motion stuff for Nickelodeon, and those are, I don't know, those are always really cool. And as a kid, they don't show them anymore, but they used to. And
yeah,
yeah,
you can still find
Those
them
are
on the Splat in high quality, which is nice.
you can, which I'm really happy, but they don't show them on the TV anymore. And yeah, those are cool. I think for now, it's all I have for the miscellaneous stuff. It's just like I was like, I have to mention that commercial. Those commercials are really cool.
That's where you get the SpongeBob's embarrassing Christmas photo from.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know if it's canon, but it's close as we have to canon.
No, it's definitely canon.
Yeah, SpongeBob knows all these characters outside of Bikini Bottom. No, but yeah, I think that's.
Well, I mean,
all
there's
I got
there's the crossover game. Like in the first cutscene, Jimmy Neutron comes into Bikini Bottom, and SpongeBob already knows him by name.
Yeah, it's a weird. I don't know. The Nickelodeon expanded universe is weird to think about sometimes. Okay, but I think that's all I got for now. Unless I remember something, I'll come back to it. But Alex too.
All right. There's a few short films that I really enjoyed. The first one that I'm thinking of is the I made a sort of a little video about it. It was like a stop motion film called The Bigger Picture, and essentially the way it has sort of somewhat of a gimmick to it, where the idea is that it was like a stop motion film made with like full size props and paintings. So a lot of like the characters are are like paintings against a wall and are drawn to be like fully sized on like a full size set. So, and every single frame they basically had to like paint over the original pose and then paint a new pose over it. They even like had smear frames that were hand painted, and you can sort of see where you can actually see where they covered up the original frames before with white paint because there's like still some color bleeding through. It's like a really cool style.
You should link it.
Yeah, it was
both. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's really cool. There was another stop motion one I remember being really cool, but it's leaving me at the moment. But I will say one thing that one place that has like a lot of really cool or like one field that has like a lot of like really cool stop motion animation just in general is still today is like the commercial field, just like advertisements and stuff.
Oh yeah, there's I can't I said there isn't, I can't even think of a single one right now, but yeah, I know what you mean.
There's like
I can think of one. That's Risk, baby.
Oh yeah, dude. Like for some reason stop motion commercials have this like uncanny ability to make me crave whatever like food product is being sold. Like the Noid commercials. I did not
They brought back the Noid recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I did not grow up in the age of the Noid, but at the same time watching those commercials like gives me this weird like cozy feeling and it makes me crave Domino's. Like these ads are still working years and years and years later. And the same goes like
for the propaganda.
You fall for
And there's like you got like the Lipton Hollisler mentioned like the Lipton brisk iced tea where they would have like stop motion animated celebrities. Yeah, caricatures of celebrities, and they do like the whole thing where they get the product out and it saves the day. Like they chug it down and you can see like you have like the loud audible gulps going down and like ah.
Oh yeah, there's Super Bowl commercials also. There's one like you just reminded me because I was thinking about this. No one mentioned this show for shows we like or dislike. I've never seen it, but like there's like Celebrity Deathmatch.
Oh yeah,
I was gonna mention that.
Yeah, because I just was thinking of that stupid Eminem Super Bowl commercial where he's like a little stop motion thing, and then I just remembered, oh yeah, he was on that show.
I forgot about that.
There was a director's cut of that ad too.
Like he swears or something like that.
No, this is
uncensored.
Basically the only thing they ended up cutting was like a wardrobe malfunction where a girl's bra comes off and says, "Oh no, we're not gonna change the name to Eminem. Shut up, motherfucker! Fucking drinking whatever the fuck iced tea."
Boy.
Oh boy.
That was pretty good. What was it? There was like a really good Oh yeah, they did one for Machete too for Lipton.
The Danny Trejo movie?
Yeah. It was really and it's like him summarizing the plot of Machete. So he's just like then I sleep with a lady who owns a taco truck and also runs a rebellion. Then I wash my hands.
I think I remember that. I don't know. Because stop motion's still using commercials a lot, thankfully.
Like,
it's cool.
And then me and the cop lady ride off into the sequel. And then I wash my hands.
No.
The one I really remember is the one with Danny DeVito.
Yeah, oh, that one's cool. Because, like, the whole plot of that commercial is, like, the puppets are fired because the new Brisk sells itself. So it's just, like, a full human-sized director talking to, like, a little stop-motion puppet of Danny DeVito.
And Danny DeVito throws, like, a puppet uprising with
Fun
all
fact,
the caricatures.
Fun fact, that is Danny DeVito's actual size.
I know.
A small powerhouse of a man.
Yeah.
Alpha man. Alpha Shadow.
I wish Danny DeVito was in my Jiminy Cricket.
Oh, dude, I want a little Danny DeVito on my shoulder.
Get your sword.
I'll get my sword for you, Danny.
We said Jiminy Cricket. I was just thinking it'd basically just be his role in Hercules whenever he's training, and that's basically would be him as Jiminy Cricket.
No. It would be mixed between that and Frank.
Yes.
Oh,
From
true.
Always Sunny.
Yes.
He would have his toe knife at hand at all times. Instead of a cane, it's the toe knife.
The toe knife.
Oh man, unrelated, but I love that scene in Always Sunny where where he just he's trying to talk to the Spanish family that they've taken hostage, and just out of a misunderstanding they stab him and just with no hesitation he's like ah. He just pulls out a gun and everyone starts screaming.
Brilliant.
Anyway, say unrelated, talking about stop motion commercials and whatnot. What would you guys think if that Grubhub commercial was made in
With
stop
stop
motion?
motion.
Yeah,
I would
Uh,
like it a bit better.
It probably
I would.
It'd probably be more charming because there's just like an inherent, even if it's shitty stop motion, there's an inherent charm to it. Versus with if CGI isn't done particularly well, it can look really cheap and like gross. But
Yeah.
even with kind of amateur-ish stop motion, it's always kind of charming. Like there's an episode I just remembered of iCarly where like Spencer's kind of has like this. He's trying to make this little stop motion short,
Yeah.
with this
Space
alien on
hamster.
Mars. Yeah. And when you actually see it, it's very crude. Like it's kind of basic, but it's charming still. Like, it's not. I don't know. Is it possible to make bad stop? I mean, technically this bad stop motion, but is it possible to make it not appealing? I don't know. That's just something I just thought of.
That could be an interesting experiment, like making so bad it's good stop motion. Because I've seen so bad it's good 3D animation and 2D animation, but like
I would say there is so bad it's good stop motion. Like there's a lot of like when I think of so bad it's good stop motion, I think of like a lot of the crude stuff made by kids learning how to animate.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's like charming still. Like I said, like you watch those Lego videos on YouTube that kids make when they were kids,
Yeah.
and it's like, I don't know, it's charming.
What if there was like a stop motion story about like a character that's sort of losing their mind, and the way that like they would just start quote unquote seeing things, but it would just be like times when the animator left their hand in frame for a second.
That'd be kind of funny. It's
That'd be
like a
cool.
little. It's like that one. What's that one? Is it Daffy Duck or something? No, where it's like he interacts with the animator, like he grabs the pencil of the animator.
Daffy Duck. That's
Yeah. Is it basically like that where a cartoon becomes self-aware, but in the case it's like a stop motion thing where they're like, "What the fuck was that?" It's like, "Oh, it's just the animator's hand or something."
Yeah, they like see through the fourth walls, like
Monty Python, Terry Gilliam.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then the animator had a heart attack. Yeah.
I love that one.
Great.
It's a good idea. I'm gonna steal your idea, Alex, and be rich and famous. I mean, I'm kidding. I just want to write that down. It's a fun
The
idea.
cartoon pedal was no more. The quest for the Holy Grail could continue. Oh man, I still remember. I actually did a lot of stop motion for like a class at one, and I want to give a shout out to my weeaboo professor who taught stop motion. He was a very cool dude. He was very respectful of the medium of animation too. He would watch whatever and did not care about like style or anything. He would just straight up watch like Violet Evergarden and shit.
That's a pretty good anime.
Yeah. I'm glad. Unfortunately,
love-
he's passed. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us. But apparently, Violet Evergarden 2, the second season of that was not good. And at the very least, I'm glad he wasn't around to see it.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, to continue on, do you have anything else to add, Alex, too, on miscellaneous?
Oh yeah, there was also two more things. I just remembered the other short I wanted to the stop motion stylings of Pes. Just PES. He does like a lot of commercial work.
Oh,
One of his
yeah.
movies was nominated for an Oscar. He did this. Fresh Guacamole was the one that was nominated for an Oscar. A big shtick for him is that he uses a lot of like just regular household objects to create things. Like he did a short film where he just like made guacamole, except like instead of an avocado, it's a grenade with a billiard ball inside of it for the pit. Just like really creative stuff like that. He did a commercial for Honda called Paper that was really cool, where it's like paper folding and like doodling over the history of like the Honda company. That was really his like commercial work and just personal stuff is all really good. Submarine Sandwich is really cool too, where it's like a guy, instead of like slicing deli meats, he's slicing up like baseball gloves, and like smaller gloves are coming out, and those are like the slices of lunch meat. And like the sound design sort of makes up half of it, because like he's able to make it look appetizing, even though it's just like a sandwich with a bunch of leather and like ViewMaster slices on it. And as far as like one last commercial thing I want to mention is the Nestea commercials with the snowman skeleton.
Oh, I love those.
Yeah, there's like he like because the effects in them like still hold up and look really good. There's like one where he's stuck in a traffic jam and like walking down a live action footage and interacting with like a dog and other people, and it's really well done. I would recommend I'll post those in chat too, but anyone watching, look up just like stop motion commercials like Nestea Cool commercials and Pess as well. Stop motion stuff is like, and it's especially like a pleasant surprise especially when you're younger and watching commercials, like seeing a commercial that's animated. It's like, oh, this is kind of cool.
Indeed.
I could be instead of like a commercial for the Gerber Life Plan, I'm getting a really cool little cartoon.
You have a valid point there, man. I'm gonna go into a small tangent and say just you heard it here first, Grubhub. Just make your commercial stop motion and people will stop shitting on it. You know.
Yes.
I think the vitriol's kind of over exaggerated by people anyway, but yeah.
Yeah, the problem with the Grubhub commercial, I think, is just how much it was repeated.
It's on Cartoon Network like every commercial break because I leave my TV on Cartoon Network. It's like every commercial break. It's that song and that creepy looking dad. It's funny though in a meme sort of way.
Yeah.
Time to move on. Hollow Slayer. You got any miscellaneous?
I actually do. I want to take this time to shill myself and say
LOA.
I make my own stop motion series called Groony, based off my own comic strip called Groony, and
Cool.
it's pretty good, I think. And the next episode hopefully will be released next month.
Awesome.
I'll link it. I'll link it in the description.
Also, it's also Primal Rage and Clay Fighter.
Oh yeah.
Great games that utilize stop motion.
True.
True. Amazing stuff.
Also, I wanted to say, now I know this creator is a bit of a jerk, but he does make some good content, and it's like Animat's History of Stop Motion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, great video series. Honestly, his animation look back series are great. Really great stuff.
Right.
He's pretty. He knows a lot.
Definitely. But also there's this one old school one Newgrounds creator called NoobJew666, and he's really good. Does a lot of madness inspired stop motion videos, and the way he makes his puppets is absolutely brilliant. And stuff.
I had to check it out.
Yeah, I mean, he like uses paper, like he uses minimum stuff, like minimum requirement stuff, but he uses it in such a creative way, or puts together it in such a creative way that it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Really beautiful stuff. Although he is a Newgrounds creator and he is a young dude, so edge warning.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Newgrounds is honestly like one of the best online communities for creatives that I've seen like stick around and stay the same for as long as it has.
Oh yeah, it's like a lovely place.
Newgrounds is like, I wouldn't say it's necessarily toxic. It's just a place with no filter.
Definitely.
It's very juvenile sometimes.
Yeah, it's juvenile. It's not a place that's like, I wouldn't say that, at least not anymore, that people on Newgrounds set out to hurt people. They just don't see anything as sacred.
It's a group of doofy idiots being doofy idiots and having fun. You know?
Fun?
It's something that a lot of people on social media have forgotten about.
Didn't you hear that fun is sexist?
Fun is canceled.
Hashtag cancel fun.
We're in a post-fun society. I'll have you
Wait,
know.
no, you can't do that.
We live in a society.
Fun.
Great.
No, you can't do that. You can't do that. We can't cancel fun because we'll be labeled as fun-phobic and against the people who identify as fun.
Okay, quit being such a fun apologist.
This is starting to like veer towards things.
Yeah, this is yeah.
Okay.
No, I can't. I can't post this now.
No.
We gotta cancel now. But yeah, another one I want to mention. Lego. The old school Lego movies, like the Magic Portal.
I have to pee.
The Lego stop motion, the Magic Portal is still one of the best out there, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful stuff.
Poggers.
Very poggers.
Very poggers. Pog Ultimate.
Pog.
Then just random stuff. The new Gulliver, which is considered by some to be the oldest surviving it is the oldest surviving stop motion full length feature. Although it does have some live action segments, since it's Gulliver's Travels and the normal size. Yeah, the normal size.
I've never seen it, but I'm familiar with it.
Yeah, it was made in Russia as a propaganda tool.
Whoa.
Amazing.
Then Jan Svankmajer, I think that's how you say his name.
Right.
He's a famous Ray Harryhausen meets Salvador Dali is how James Rolfe of Angry Video Game Nerd fame described him, and I think that's a pretty applicable description. Also, throw in Chuck Jones, because there's definitely a lot of it's just his work is batshit insane.
True.
It is just one thing after another, and it's there's no stopping, and it gets ramped up. It's like, honestly, it's like his movies kind of remind me of a mix between, like, again, Chuck Jones, Salvador Dali, and Ray Harryhausen, but also that one scene from Willy Wonka in the freaking the riverboat, and they're going through like hell.
Oh yeah, straight up hell.
It's straight up just way out of theme, really out of nowhere hell tunnel from Willy Wonka.
Yeah, just imagine a stop motion animator whose brain is constantly in that headspace.
Right. Oh,
and
good lord.
That's Svankmajer.
I might have to look this guy up.
He is just so fucking like, and he doesn't just do animation. He does a mixture of live action, animation, and extremely creative puppetry.
Nice.
So you get two animation styles for a price of one. Nice. Although it's a bit difficult to find a lot of his shorts. There is a collection out there of pretty much all of his good shorts, but it's in Region 2, and it's fairly expensive.
Right. All right.
Yeah.
Pale, is Pale able to share anything?
Yes, I'm back. Yes. Sorry, I had a goal.
But I was next. I was next anyway. She still had time.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
You can go ahead.
But I don't have much for miscellaneous because people already kind of talked about it. Primal Rage. uh, one of my favorite games growing up. I remember playing it like every day when I had a Genesis old ass console. Like from that I had to mention Clay Fighter. I never played Clay Fighter, but I heard it's a pretty good fighting game. Uh, and then uh, something I remember when Alex the Menace was talking about like his brother's
Right.
race car stop motion film, reminded
Yeah.
me of that one Netflix show, the Buddy Thunderstruck, the dog monster truck race car driver one.
Yeah.
Like it really
Cute.
like I feel like it really captures that childlike imagination of it.
Oh, totally.
And
It's
then
like it falls into like the kind of thing of like what a kid would imagine with like toy cars.
yes, exactly. What else? What else? What do I have in my notes? Then I'm surprised someone mentioned this. The California raisins. They probably
They were
they're
done by Will Vinton too, I think.
a classic. Like I feel like when people think of stop motion commercials, that's probably one of the first things people's head goes to. Maybe,
Yeah.
or maybe I'm just old.
No, I would say stop.
You're
I would say the
boomer.
California raisins are up there.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah. Well, we didn't
Right.
mention them at all, but yeah.
I'm surprised. Dang.
And surprise. Another thing on short videos, at least short films. Recently, I saw one called Save Ralph. Uh, the one of the documentary or mockumentary of a lab test bunny. Uh, very heartbreaking, really sad. You know.
Aw.
But also funny at the same time. Uh, I forgot the director's name. Like director of like Jojo Rabbit.
Oh, Taika Waititi. Oh, you're talking about that movie, Save Ralph.
Yo.
Yeah, Save Ralph.
Oh, that one. Yeah, it's, I haven't seen. That's been on my list to watch for a couple of weeks. Yeah. When you said Save Ralph, I'm like, is that the Taika Waititi movie? Yeah.
Yes, that's the one. I
Yeah,
also
I love
recommend
that.
it. It is very good, man. And then last thing is I haven't seen it yet. It's in my list of Opal from Adult Swim.
Oh, Opal is so good.
I still haven't seen it. It's in my list.
Oh, that reminds me of a show on Adult Swim. I haven't seen it. It's called The Shivering Truth, and I'm like, I want to.
Yeah. The Shivering Truth is.
Yes,
I've
it
only
looks
seen
really
clips of it. I've only seen clips
Same.
of it on YouTube, but they're really they're funny, but also fill you with that sort of sense of dread. It's like it has that
Yeah.
same sort of like Xavier Renegade Angel energy.
Big mood.
Oh man, that show
Big
needs
ass
to come back.
Yeah, but Opal is very good. Like Jock Stauber, that guy's going places.
Actually,
yeah, he-
that was a
Oh
comparison.
no, we didn't mention Jack Stauber at all. Yeah, he's
Jen,
cool.
Jens Spankmeyer is kind of like the boomer equivalent to Jack Stauber in a lot of ways.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's
Like,
makes
there's
good
this one
music too.
There's this one animation that I
Yeah.
remember from Spankmeyer where he's like, there's this head and it's in a room and it's slowly building itself up a body, and
Whoa.
and it's the whole body too.
Nice.
It's very weird.
Nice. Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't have anything else. Miscellaneous. Oh, I guess it's one thing, but I'm not sure if it's stop motion. It's like I think it's Kirby's Yarn, where it's not really stop motion, but they lower the frame
They
rate
style it to look like clay, right?
to make it look more like clay, and
Yeah,
that's very nice. And
it's cool.
They
I
did
like
that.
it.
They did that on Flushed Away also,
uh,
where they
That's a CGI.
no, I know that's something, but they try to make it look like it's stop motion to mix results. But
Yeah.
It was like CG, but they had like
Okay.
the Aardman style of design.
Because it was supposed to be stop motion, but like the water, because most of the movie takes place in a sewer, and the water was so difficult that the artist was just like,
Ooh.
we're doing the shit.
Oh my! Oh god! I could only imagine, dude. That's a lot of lube.
That's a lot of lube.
Yeah.
A lot of lube.
I think Push Away did it pretty well, but I think it's a little too clean. At least the model and animation's a little
I like
too
seeing
clean and fluid to be
Yeah,
stop motion.
Oh yeah, they figured it out by the time we got to like Lego Movie and stuff, like how to
Yeah.
make it look not, I don't know. Also, Spider-Verse does that kind of like they kind of do this
Yeah.
choppy frame rate intentionally for certain things to
Yeah.
kind of make it look
I do
kind
like
of
it even
stop
as
motion
like
esque.
yeah, I do like even as like stop motion is I wouldn't say it's falling out of fashion. It's always going to be around, but I do like that stop motion still continues to live on in movies that go out of their way to look like stop motion, like with the Lego Movie and with like the stuff Worthy Kids does. And people who basically
Yeah.
see the charm in it and see the potential in it.
For Spider-Verse and
Yeah, and just like
commercials
going
yeah.
and like using it as like doing it not just as like due to limitations or anything, but choosing to stick with the limitations of stop motion for stylistic reasons.
Yeah, all true.
Yeah.
Anyway, next is Pale. Any miscellaneous things? Anything you wanted to talk about that wasn't covered in any other
Yes.
topic?
There's, I think someone mentioned Sledgehammer.
Yeah.
Back, right? All right. So
Yeah, Peter Gabriel.
there's this one song by this band called Menace. I can't even say it. Menace. I can't say
I think I say
it.
Primus because I know Primus has stop motion video.
Metronomy or something. And the song's called The Look. It's got like these little pigeons and it's stop motion. I'll probably have to link it in a bit, but The Look, yes, that's what it's called.
Okay. Metronomy.
Yes, I can't say it. I'm bad with my words.
Got a little. Oh, it's a little seagull. This looks cool.
Yeah, seagull. It's Did no one mention Applejack and cinnamon commercials? Or did
The
you already
Cinnamon?
mention that?
Oh, the cinnamon. No one
Cinnamon.
mentioned that.
What? That's a classic.
That
That's
is
like
such
my
a
childhood.
classic.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Dude, when
Shame
Apple
on
won, that
all.
was the end of an era.
Yeah. Oh man. Alright. Y'all mentioned the Jack Stuber guy, right?
Jack Stauber, yeah.
Yeah, Kick Salber, yeah.
Ah, but did y'all mention Lee Hardcastle?
Oh, Lee Hart. He's did I know he did an
Yeah.
ad for Thorpe Park.
The best. Oof, sorry.
He did like a really dark animation about a poor hamster.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yes. As his description in his YouTube account says, stop motion animation, claymation, clay animation, death.
The poison to kill Kuzka.
Pretty much just like gory, dark, horror stuff that he makes.
Right.
It's pretty. He's actually made a couple of Adult Swim bumpers. So it's like, it's pretty sick.
Adult Swim has done a really good job with like getting like new up and coming animators in the spotlight.
Yeah.
Mainly for their bumpers and stuff. Adult Swim. Oh yeah, Adult Swim bumpers. And Oh, I'm mad. I forgot another Nickelodeon thing. But Pale, continue.
Oh, I was just gonna add one more. He also did. He also teamed up with Orion Pictures. And he made like a stop motion short little video for the 2019 Child's Play. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah. Also, if anyone ever wants to talk about Child's Play, I'm your gal.
Okay.
All right, maybe. Maybe next podcast.
Pretty good topic for the next podcast.
One day.
Next podcast.
For the
Puppets.
Halloween
Ooh,
podcast.
Yeah, there we go. Because Nickelodeon has that new puppet show.
Oh.
Oh, we get to talk about Mr.
yeah.
Meaty, and I will watch for
Hell
preparation.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love Mr. Meaty.
Already we're getting the juices flowing.
I'm gonna have to link this stuff.
All right.
That's
Well,
all I
Got
got.
to talk about the Muppets and Ubi. I think that's what it was
Rudy?
called.
Mhm.
You know
And
the
Larkin's son.
There's so many good puppet shows.
Yeah. More than like I realized too, but I think about it from like 30 seconds, like, wow, there's actually a lot.
I mean, puppetry is like the oldest form of animation around, so
That's
it
true.
makes sense that there's
I
a
have-
lot.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is true.
I
Anyway,
also was gonna quickly make a tangent since we're on a tangent. My mixed media thing is the old Nickelodeon theme song, like the bumper, the Nick thing.
whoa, you can't.
Yeah, there's like stop motion.
Nickelodeon.
Whoa,
Like there's a
Mike.
lot of 2D stuff, but there's also stop motion in it, and that comes to mind because it was always really cool as a kid seeing all the mixed media. But the stop motion parts,
Yeah.
I don't know. I linked it in podcast general, but like if you guys have ever seen, I'm pretty sure you guys recognize it, but
Yeah, that's such a
if
classic.
you ever had a Nickelodeon VHS tapes, you've probably seen it. You know, open it up.
The
Yeah,
orange cassette tapes, orange
yeah, totally. Like,
VHS
yeah,
tapes.
yeah, orange Rugrats VHS tapes, but yeah.
Oh,
Oh my god!
I used to
Rugrats
have that.
videos, I'm collecting them all.
Oh yeah, the Devo. Yeah, oh man, that's another topic.
Devo!
Yeah,
Somebody
Devo,
mentioned
the guy from Devo did the music
For
for
Oh, yeah.
Rugrats.
Oh yeah, I freaking
And-
love
Oh,
Devo.
And also Crash Bandicoot.
Nice.
I didn't know he
I
did.
forgot one more.
Okay.
Alright, go ahead.
Oh, Devo did stop motion. Love Without Anger. They did a stop motion sequence where Ken and Barbie killed each other.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, well, not kill each other, but maim each other. And then after they're done maiming, they sit and cuddle.
There was one more. I don't remember it, but I feel like Alex would explain it better. But there's a YouTube channel called Jordan Goes to Sleep. He used to be known for making videos. Yes, you can talk about it.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
his biggest fan.
I have very strong feelings for Jordan.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
He also, yeah, he lives in the same. Also, no, never mind it. Sorry, I'm fanboying. Yeah, Jordan Goes to Sleep, or he used to be known as Jordan Underneath. He used to do like video game reviews for like horror related stuff, and
That's what I know him for.
like he did like Pan, I think even mentioned them. Like he did like two reviews on like Courage the Cowardly Dog and Billy and Mandy, but you know, but he started to do like stop motion stuff and other stuff, like his channel
Puppetry. Lots of
puppetry.
puppetry.
Yeah, and some stop motion and anime. Yeah, a lot of everything. He's his channel kind of has this macabre sort of dark vibe to it, but it's also kind of a whimsy and childlike wonder to it. I don't know. We could talk about Jordan, but I don't.
Yeah.
I really love Jordan, but yeah.
Hey, I want
was
this.
Many years ago there was Pan and then there was Jordan. Those
There
were
was
the two.
Aw.
Those were my two. Number one was Pan. Number two was Jordan. But yeah, continue. Sorry, you got me on a tangent.
Alright. I want to just mention one last thing is the beginning section of a series of unfortunate events movie of like the Happy Little Elves stop motion segment.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
Fucking that almost got me to just leave the theater because I straight up thought I was watching a different movie. Like this can't be right. But I thought it was a pretty fun gag in the beginning.
It even had like the title cards and stuff too.
Yes. All right. Anything else anyone wants to say before we end?
We've been at it for about 2.5 hours. Over 2.5 hours.
Woo!
Whoa!
Wow, I didn't even realize.
Time
I try to
flies.
get straight to my point. It's I keep forgetting stuff.
Yeah, sorry,
Oh,
Tuner. You gotta add
goodness.
2.5 hours of footage.
Woo!
That's
My,
fine.
Make sure
I
you
feel
edit
bad
out
'cause
the
you-
stuff.
I feel
No,
bad
no.
because I was half awake and incoherent.
That's fine.
Okay.
It's okay. Anything else? Anything you want to say? Last words?
Stop motion good.
Stop motion good.
Follow Grooney. Grooney is the new lord. Fuck Gribbly. Hashtag fuck Gribbly.
All right.
I have a channel and a Twitter. Yeah, Alex the Menace. That's it. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter and YouTube. I like theme parks. I stream on Twitch and Stan Postman Pat.
Yes, Dan.
Yes.
I'm Iguana. You can find me at the Aquatic Bunny. I do art. Have a nice day, evening, night, morning, whatever. I love you.
Plenty of
all.
Krabby Patties.
Yes.
Yes.
You can
Kids.
you can find me at Let's Talk About Comics YouTube and other places. Okay, my mind's going in the tired hole.
Take a nap.
Take a nap. All right. I'll make sure to link those channels in the description. Thank you for joining the podcast. Thank you for listening, whoever is actually listening, and see you probably next time. You know.
Hi.
See ya.
Bye.